Taylor, thanks very much, and we welcome you to the new frontier of the Atlantic Coast Conference. Palo Alto, California tonight, ACC Network primetime, the Stanford Cardinal and the number 21 Mustangs of SMU here tonight in San Mateo County. And you see Troy Taylor's got the Cardinal. They heard we were coming, Tom. They went alternate black jerseys tonight with the Cardinal number. And a team that's lost 3 straight stands at 1-2 in the ACC. They take the field here tonight. And of course, they're going to see a very talented team. Great to be with Tom Luganville, Dana Boyle in just a moment. Wes Durham, delighted to have you with us for a team at SMU, Tom, that everybody thought had potential in their first year in the ACC. And as we start the second half of conference play, they are right there.
They're right there because they're playing winning complementary football, plus turnover margin. They score in non-offensive possessions, meaning the kicking game. And on defense, they can run the football effectively and they can stop the run.
Well, you see the wins over Nevada and Houston Christian, then a hard-fought Friday night loss to still undefeated BYU, who's a thrill a minute, by the way, for Kalani Sitake. Then they got the iron skillet, blasted TCU, then beat Florida State. We saw that. And then what about Louisville on the road last week, or 2 weeks ago, Tom?
Well, it was a huge win on the road because you're coming off that emotional first ACC game at home versus Florida State. Everybody's talking about Louisville being the favorite, maybe being a contender, and you go on the road and you make a statement. And then right when you need the bye weekend, right when you need a little bit of rest, you get it heading out west to play Stanford tonight.
So we'll see how the Mustangs go. When you start talking about Troy Taylor's second Cardinal team, offensively, Ashton Daniels will play quarterback tonight for him, but he's got one of the most talented wide receivers in all of college football.
He's got a pro. He's got a Sunday guy in Elakayo Minor. And what they've got to do is find a way to get him the football. You look a year ago, the monster day he had, that's against Travis Hunter at Colorado, coming back from 29 points down. He's one of those guys that goes up, elevates, and attacks the football. He makes the contested catch and the acrobatic catch look routine. But this quarterback here, Ashton Daniels tonight for Stanford, has got to find a way to target him. They got to create mismatches against SMU's secondary and take some shots downfield.
Io Manor had better than 1,000 yards last year in the regular season. He's got just a third of that right now. And you see Troy Taylor, he's in his second season at Palo Alto, and Dana standing by with SMU head coach Rhett Lashley.
Coach Lashley, you told us the bye week came at an ideal time for your group. It allowed them to get healthy. But as we know, coming off a bye week can present some unforeseen challenges. What's the number one priority tonight?
Yeah, we just got to stay true to who we are, play our brand of football, hopefully start out very physical. We'd love to start fast, but if not, just settle in and play our game.
There's no secret your defense has been opportunistic. How do you contain the playmakers on Stanford's sideline?
It's a challenge. You know, it starts with the quarterback. We got to keep him in check and do our best to stick the wide out and get off field on third down.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks to Rhett Lashley. And, well, you've heard this story. Let's show it to you. SMU has already been to Louisville. Of course, that was their first conference road game, Tom. They're going to Duke next Saturday night. We'll see them there. And, by the way, Virginia later in the calendar. So those are their 4 ACC road games. But Lashley said we're going as far west as we can go and almost as far east as they can go. And we've gotten news here just before the kick tonight that Brashard Smith will not be part of the order in this first half tonight for SMU.
Yeah, just a little message needed to be sent from Coach Rhett Lashley just on some standards and some expectations. Nothing off the field, nothing to be overtly concerned about, but needed to sit him down for a first couple of quarters. Now let's going to see how that affects the depth of SMU in the offensive backfield with L.J. Johnson back. And now Roderick Daniels moving to the tailback spot.
And just as we say this, you see Smith come onto the field to return the kick. So I don't know. We had gotten word that that was going to take place tonight. Maybe it's special teams only, Tom?
It may be. It may be a situation where they don't feel like they've got the right fit to replace him there. He'll come off the field based off of what Coach Rhett Lashley told us in our meetings with him this week. But he's a dynamic playmaker. So they're going to have to find a way to fill those shoes here in the first half, not just as a running back, but in the passing game and the plays he makes for SMU's offense.
A little warmer than most would expect in October in Palo Alto, California tonight. But still a very pleasant night here for ACC football. Stanford at 2-4, trying to snap a 3-game losing skid. SMU trying to win their 4th straight. here tonight. Emmett Kinney will kick it away for the Cardinal. And Brashard Smith and Roderick Daniels are deep, both very dangerous. And this will be Smith from the goal line to get us started tonight. Trying to find a crease just outside the 10, cannot. Well covered by the Cardinal. And so Stanford pretty excited as they get a good stop on special teams. And now here comes Kevin Jennings making all of just his 6th collegiate start. Tom, it just feels like he's been there a lot longer.
Well, and he's making all the right moves. He has really settled in with this offense, not just as a runner, but as a thrower. And he allows the offense to attack every nook and cranny of the field. And that's one of the reasons they went away from Preston Stone to Kevin Jennings. And they're going to have a tall order in front of them because the best thing Stanford does defensively is play the run.
Roderick Daniels is the running back here. And the play fake from Jennings and a quick shot on the slant. And this is Moochie Dixon. And Moochie Dixon on the first snap of the game scores. 87 yards on the slant from Kevin Jennings.
We know that Rhett Lashley wanted to start fast. So what does he do? He wins the toss and receives the football. He's not going to allow him to come out flat. They're going to run the RPO game, and they're going to throw this slant route right there, and they've got it wide open, an easy read. Put the ball a foot in front of the numbers to Moochie Dixon, and that is off to the races. What a fantastic hot start. You worry a little bit coming off of the bye week, Wes, that you might be a little flat. You've lost a little bit of your juice. That emotional win on the road 2 weeks ago to Louisville. This is the start Rhett Lashley was looking for on the road here tonight.
Longest pass of the season for Jennings, career best, longest pass of the year for SMU, and a career-long catch for Moochie Dixon, who transferred from Texas. He had 4 touchdown catches a year ago. That's his first of this season. And what a way to start the night for Rhett Lashley's club. My goodness.
Well, and tonight on defense for Stanford, they're going to start 2 true freshmen at the corner spot, but that time Colin Wright was on the coverage, a junior playing the opposite corner spot, and they just took advantage of the coverage. Great read by Kevin Jennings there, pulling it off the mesh action in the backfield and delivering a strike.
So Troy Taylor, whose team has been outscored 120-28 in their last 3 ball games, finds themselves down 7-0 here after the first snap. And all of a sudden, a defense that had been a little sturdy, Tom, in the first half, especially in the most recent losing streak, for sure, now all of a sudden gives up a big play, and the onus falls back to an offense that hopefully will find the groove early tonight for Troy Taylor. And Bachmeier will wave for the fair catch, and therefore Stanford will take the ball. And we'll get our first look at Ashton Daniels, the Cardinal quarterback here. And remember now, this is a pretty good scenario when they're fully healthy, Tom.
Right. And Ashton Daniels has been nursing a lower leg injury. This is as close to 100% as he's been. They can run the football, and they can effectively run the football at the quarterback position. What this offense has to do is get the quarterback completion rate into the 65% or higher. They're just at 59% right now for Ashton Daniels, and they need to create explosives tonight.
And a first down give. They're going to hand the ball. This is the freshman Micah Ford firing through. He's their 3rd leading rusher behind Daniels and also another true freshman, Chris Davis. But this young Micah Ford, last couple of ball games, nearly 170 yards on the ground. He had 122 on 15 carries in the loss at Clemson.
He's going to be a really, really good player, Wes. One of 15 true freshmen that played so far for Stanford this season. We've got a really good young crop of players.
So second down, little operation here. Daniels backing up and going to slide it in the middle of the field, and the catch is made. And that's Ford, the running back, close to a first down, and he will have it, stretching just beyond the 35. Kobe Wilson, the Mustang linebacker, there on the tackle.
Good patience by Ashton Daniels right there just to work through the progressions. Looked like he pressed the panic button for just a moment and then pulled up, got his eyes up, hit the check down. Check downs get first downs. And what Troy Taylor talked about with us is we've got to maintain possession of the football, huddle, and condense the game.
Mosley, the receiver, to the far side. Io Manor here to the near side. They're going to hand the ball again in the run game to the near side, and that's Ford. And he got turned back pretty quick. Tank Booker, Ahmad Walker, the linebacker, closing down shop for SMU. And Daniels and the Cardinal facing second in the full 10 again.
Go left.
You see 33% of their scrimmage yards from a rookie class that gets more and more valuable to the rest of this season. Here's a toss coming near side, and Ford taken out again. Good run pursuit that time, and that's Jared Harrison Hunt, the Miami transfer. And that'll be a tackle for loss. It'll be his second of the year.
Jafari Harvey and Harrison Hunt, they do an outstanding job of leveraging the football to the outside, not allowing the cutback, bouncing and spilling the play to the perimeter. This is an experienced team defensively up front for SMU, a bulk of transfers, but transfers that came in from other Power 4 schools that had played a lot of football prior to arriving at SMU.
So third down, 11 to go. Daniels to throw. Pressure coming. Still looking for room. He's going to sail it out of bounds. Harrison Hunt fired through again and took Daniels off point pretty quick. So after attaining a first down in their opening possession, Stanford going to punt, and Aiden Flintoff, sophomore from Pacific Palisades, will come on to do that for Troy Taylor's club.
See Troy Taylor there talking to his quarterback, and Troy Taylor's not just the head football coach here, he's also the offensive coordinator, but he personally coaches the quarterbacks as well. So you'll see a lot of interaction between him and Ashton Daniels here tonight.
And that is blocked. Partially blocked by the Mustangs. It'll check up out of bounds right around midfield. Looked like Cale Sanders, the nickel, got through there. The punt only 15 yards. Sanders gets a punt block, and SMU's got all the momentum here early tonight in Palo Alto. Sanders the block. Mustangs in midfield with the lead.
Back in Palo Alto, you see the pressure on the punt block here for SMU, and they're going to work here with Cale Sanders, number 22, but he doesn't actually block the punt. But the pressure and the fear of the block causes this ball to go off the side of the foot of Stanford punter Aiden Flintoff. So listen, pressure, it's almost like pressuring a quarterback, right? You didn't get the sack, but you affected the play, and now you've got tremendous field position to start on offense.
Here's Roderick Daniels' little pass on the sweep going to the far side. First down play will carry him toward the Cardinal 42. R.J. Maryland now. Boy, we got some really outstanding skill guys tonight on both perimeters offensively.
Oh, yeah.
Maryland is a terrific tight end.
If you want to call him that.
Yeah.
That's why it creates so many problems for opposing defenses, is they got to either label him as a skilled player or as a tight end based off of the defensive personnel.
Pistol set for Lashley's team on second down here, and a play fake for Jennings. He wanted to take the deep shot. He's going to take it here and overthrow the intended receiver. And downfield, that was Keyshawn Smith, the senior from San Diego.
Lincoln High School,
Yeah.
home of Marcus Allen.
Thought we were getting ready to have a Tom Luganville reference. A self-call.
Same area, wrong high school.
Self-call here on 3rd and 3. Mustangs come in at 46% on third down. And this is Daniels trying to fight for the yardage, and he's going to come up 2 yards shy. I see Sinclair wearing the 8 jersey. He was the first guy there for Troy Taylor's team.
Well, that's the heart and soul of this defense. Number 8, number 0, Gaithan Bernadelle and Tristan St. Clair. These two guys, they pack a punch. Now, they're not space players necessarily, but tackle to tackle, really good at deciphering, finding the football, playing off blocks. Now you got a 4th and 2 for SMU.
Jennings in the gun here. Going to push Jordan Hudson to the top of your screen. Jennings looks, now going to shoot it sidearm, and he threw it right by Jake Bailey. Tommy could have kept it and maybe picked up the number.
Or he could have thrown it initially when he had Bailey right when he first cocked to throw the football. I don't know what caused Kevin Jennings to pull this ball down. He's got Bailey settling on the option route in the void right there. He's got him. He's ready to go. And then he pulls the ball back for some reason. And what a critical stop on defense for Stanford.
Absolutely.
Wow.
The Cardinal, after having the poor punt go out of bounds up near midfield, start from their 41-yard line now. Still in a 7-0 game. You see Bailey talking to his fellow receivers on the bench there after the Mustangs turn it over on downs. Here's Daniels going to work, and a play fake starts the drive. And he'll throw, and that's caught in SMU territory. And that's Elikayo Manor in traffic making the grab. It's a 14-yard catch to the young man from Canada.
On the field is a completed pass for a first down.
It's a fantastic route. He sells it. He's going vertical. We get the nice little subtle push off. Little bit of an extension there for Io Manor. But when you have that size and you have a threat to get over the top, you can create some separation on those comeback routes to the sideline.
That is Ford on the carry. And he gets to the 45. We've got an injured Mustang down on the play. And it looks like Jonathan Jefferson, the Georgia transfer, is still down. And so we're going to get a break here. Almost 5 minutes gone in this opening period. First snap from scrimmage tonight was an 87-yard touchdown. And that's where we are between SMU and Stanford. Well, while SMU leads 7-0, we welcome you back to the farm here in Palo Alto. Great to be with Tom Luganville, Dana Boyle. Tonight, the second meeting all time between Stanford and SMU. When was the first? Oh, how about New Year's Day 1936? The granddaddy of them all. Stanford comes into the game, and they force 7 turnovers, including 6 interceptions. And All-America Bones Hamilton headed a team for the Cardinal that posted 7 shutouts that year. 84,784. Saw Stanford win 7-0. By the way, SMU had already been named the national champion by something called the Dickinson Systems, which I think was a part of the BCS years ago. And they had to beat A&M and then play the Rose Bowl as the national champions.
Well, I'm listening to you tell the story, and I'm trying to figure out how you threw the football enough in 1936 to turn it over 6 times through the air.
Well, tell you what, how about 7 shutouts for the Cardinal, led by the All-America Bones Hamilton.
Bones Hamilton.
Yeah.
How about that nice 2-yard tackle for loss to force a 3rd and 12 here?
By the way, SMU had a first-year coach that year. Matty Bell won all his games except for the Rose Bowl. How about that?
But he still got to be the national champion.
That's because it was 2 weeks before the season ended.
What kind of system is that?
Oh, it's a great system. Here's it. Daniels, a little option play. Tom had been talking about this with the coaches. That's Ford. He turns the corner. He'll pick up maybe 2 on the play. Wacobia, the terrific safety for the Mustangs, makes the play. All right, Coach Luganville.
Well, it's a nice gain of 6. And, you know, this is basically a version of triple option, but they call it the load option because the load gets you that extra body, that extra hat to lead on the option, and then you play off the end man of the line of scrimmage and the unblocked defender that you're trying to make choose, right? You put them in a conflict of assignment. You're going to see more and more of that tonight. It's a staple of this offense. Troy Taylor loves it, and it is extremely difficult to defend.
All right, you got Ford and Davis, the running backs, to the left of Daniels here on 4th and 7. And Daniels from a pocket. Now pressured up the field. He'll tuck and run, fake the pass, near side, and first down for the Cardinal. Ahmad Walker finally tracks Ashton Daniels down, but Tom, it's like having 3 running backs back there.
It absolutely is, and this was the danger for Scott Simons, the defensive coordinator at SMU, coming into the game. We've got to be able to handle quarterback run, especially improvised plays like you saw right there. And I'll tell you one thing, I don't care how far downfield you are, when you pump fake, the defender is going to leave their feet. It's just human nature. Even though they know you're beyond the line to gain, they can't help themselves.
CC and Rouse to the top of the formation. This is a first down give, and oh my goodness, what a play this is. Right in the middle of the line, you saw Jafari Harvey grab Chris Davis Jr. and spin him around, essentially to take him off balance and force 2nd and maybe 11.
Welcome to college football, young freshman. Well, he just wrangles them here at the point of attack, and once he gets, and I've seen this several times this fall with these undershirts underneath the pads and the jerseys, and players get pulled down by them. Get rid of that stuff. You want to have as little cloth as possible for a defender to grab.
Here's Daniels from the pocket, going to take the deep shot downfield, and it is broken up and incomplete. It looked for a moment that Jonathan McGill had a crack at it, and then Brandon Crossley came flying over the top on a ball intended for another freshman, Emmett Mosley, the fifth from Chicago.
And if Ashton Daniels could have thrown this a beat faster, this is a touchdown. You see Emmett Mosley go up again, a true freshman, as you mentioned. You got to go up and attack that football. I think it's a 50-50 ball. You got to win that matchup on scholarship. Those are the types of contested plays, and you need it if you're Stanford because you haven't had explosives in this offense so far this year.
So here's Daniels on 3rd and 11. Again from the pocket. He'll escape to the field side. Takes off, flag down behind the play, and Alexander Kilgore takes him down. It would be a first down. The ball, I think, yep, they're going to measure it at the 23, but the flag is down back in the neighborhood of what potentially might be a hold on Stanford.
The ruling on the field is the runner was down prior to the ball becoming loose. Holding, offense number 58, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 3rd down.
Yet another true freshman, as we seem to be mentioning on every other play with this Stanford football team. Khalil House, a highly touted prospect coming out of high school. But anytime you make that leap from high school to college, and you're put the left tackle spot, there are going to be some ups and downs. There's going to be some challenges. And you'll see the hold here. He's the left tackle spot right there. Comes off, and he just hooks him. He's got his hands on the outside. And as he starts tugging and pulling, especially when Ashton Daniels takes the front door to leave the pocket, you see that jersey pull away.
From Warner Robins, Georgia, went to Houston County. So now 3rd and very long. Here's Daniels trying to get the ball in space, and off the hands of Mosley, incomplete. So now it'll be 4th down, and it's 21 after the penalty a moment ago. And you see Ashton Daniels, who played in the win at Syracuse and the ball game at Clemson, and then missed Virginia Tech. Came back last week. Tom was okay at Notre Dame. Flintoff will punt it. Daniels will wait. And an end-over-end kick that Daniels will run away from. And oh boy, nice. Hayden Flintoff, very well done. Comes from a punting family. Brother punted at UCLA. Cousin also punted at UCLA. 39 yards. Well, back in Palo Alto, Tom, it didn't take long to get to tonight's dynamic play of the game, brought to you by T. Rowe Price.
Oh, the RPO, pull it, pitch it. Nice little slant route. Moochie Dixon, who takes it to the house, and SMU was so critical for them. They wanted to get off to a fast start. You're coming off the bye weekend. You've got a lot of emotion. You got a lot of momentum. And you can't come out flat on the road against Stanford.
4 touchdowns a year ago for Dixon, his first of 2024 coming here in Palo Alto. It's the only score in the ball game. First down give. Straight away goes L.J. Johnson. It's kind of been a circuitous route in this campaign for Johnson. Missed a game or two with injury. Has now come back in the order. Playing his 26th game tonight. Just a couple of carries at Louisville a couple weeks ago. One of them pretty big, though. Produced a touchdown.
And Brashard Smith, their normal starter, sitting out the first half due to a little disciplinary action.
And here is Jennings, going to throw it. Another catch on a slant and slipping up. Brandon Nicholson makes the tackle. Catch was made out there by Jordan Hudson. 12th catch of the year for Hudson, who's had some moments. He had it against Florida State, to be honest.
Absolutely.
He broke that game open in the first half. Here goes L.J. Johnson, splits the middle of the Stanford defense out to the 40 for the Mustangs. Goes Johnson. Tom, they've got, when healthy, obviously they have Brashard Smith, they have L.J. Johnson, they got a terrific freshman in McFall. Here's the keeper on Jennings. He fakes the toss. Boy, took a huge lick at the 47-yard line, and then the black shirts of Troy Taylor rally to get him on the ground. It'll be 2nd down and short. each of the backs does some things their own unique way,
right,
but they're all in the same kind of framework, size, and weight, it feels like.
Well, you know, it's interesting. They're all short, but they're not small.
That's it.
There's a difference between those two. And then you add Kevin Jennings and that dynamic into it, makes it really difficult to defend in the run game.
And here's a give again. This is Johnson trying to find a seam on the left side. Does. And to the 45 of Stanford goes L.J. Johnson. That's Cam Richardson making the stop for Stanford. And the Mustangs are moving this thing through the gearbox here on a first down.
That's another one of those true freshmen we've talked about for Stanford that they're relying upon right now.
Here's Jennings going to launch it downfield, looking for Smith. It's caught. Touchdown SMU and Keyshawn Smith.
And who do they target? Go right after the freshman Cam Richardson. He makes the tackle on the previous play. They got him isolated one-on-one. Kevin Jennings sees it pre-snap. It's time to take a shot.
Yep. So Keyshawn Smith, it's his third touchdown catch of the year. It's his second in as many games.
Now this is an off-balance delivery too, as you saw Kevin Jennings trying to evade a little bit in the pocket just as he's getting hit. Tafiti on the rush for Stanford.
And in a half dozen plays, Jennings has thrown for his second score of the night. And SMU's built a 2-touchdown advantage on Stanford here in this first quarter.
Well, SMU's taking advantage of the underneath stuff with the slant routes in the RPO game. This time they take the vertical shot, and they are really spreading the ball around. Keyshawn Smith, Jordan Hudson, Moochie Dixon's got the touchdown on the first play of the game, and we haven't even seen R.J. Maryland yet.
Yeah. So Jennings has thrown his second. There's a look at Keyshawn Smith. SMU has now outscored opponents 80-31 in the first quarter.
When you get off to a fast start, you create momentum, and momentum creates confidence. And I think those are two things that this SMU program has right now. As each and every game develops, and each and every quarter and half develops, they have created their own momentum, offense, defense, and in the kicking game by creating turnovers, explosive plays, scoring on special teams and on defense. And so now their confidence is riding high.
Colin Rogers will kick it away. Bachmeier deep for the Cardinal. And an end-over-end kick and a fair catch called for by Bachmeier. So the Cardinal will start from their 25-yard line. Don't forget, we got a full slate of ACC Network football for you next week. High noon will be in Blacksburg, Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, 3:30 back here in Palo Alto for Wake Forest, who got a nice win today against UConn's visit here to the farm. And then at 8 o'clock, we'll see the SMU Mustangs and Manny Diaz's Duke Blue Devils, who got the win last night against Florida State. Let's go downstairs. Dana.
Just more on the youth movement here with Stanford. Obviously, Troy Taylor not able to use the transfer portal for that immediate depth because of the academic rigor here at Stanford. But you see a lot of players, those veteran players like 94 Anthony Franklin on the defensive end, coaching up the line, saying, watch the offensive line tackle, watch their eyes. So there's a lot of coaching being done, not just by the staff here.
And on first down, one of the freshmen, Chris Davis, on the little counter move. And Corey Roberson, the Oklahoma transfer, gets Davis on the ground.
Well, Dana, to further your point about these young freshmen, and we've mentioned a bunch of them tonight, you take a look at the freshman recruiting class 2024. This was a really good class. We've already mentioned Emmett Mosley. Ciaron Brown, the guard, is the backup left guard. Cam Richardson, we just talked about him. Unfortunately, he gave up a big touchdown. The two running backs, Chris Davis and Micah Ford. This is going to be a really good class, but Stanford doesn't have the ability to wave a magic wand in the transfer portal and fill holes. They have to develop players.
Here goes Davis on second down, and boy, got trapped again. That was Moses coming down hard to help. And then the rest of the guys arrived, including big Mike Lockhart. But Ahmad Moses, Tom, really in the box a lot here early from his safety spot.
Well, he absolutely is. He's coming down because I don't think that Scott Simons, the defensive coordinator, believes that Stanford can consistently take the ball over the top on them. And so they're going to add some more bodies in the box, stop to run, force Ashton Daniels to beat you. And so far, with the lack of explosives this fall for Stanford, I like where he's pushing his chips to the table.
Daniels is just 2 of 5 for 20 yards. Straight away is the give, and Micah Ford had the door shut. And fourth down coming. That's going to be 3 and out for the Cardinal. Elijah Roberts was the guy who got off the bottom of the stack. If you see SMU on defense, good chance fives around the rock.
Ain't no doubt about that.
So Roderick Daniels will wait. Flintoff back to punt again. Flips this one around toward Daniels, and oh boy, jumped right up on him. He'll pick it up, see what he can do. Going to the far side is Roderick Daniels. Turns the corner and edged out of bounds as he got around the 45, maybe the midfield line. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like SMU's going to have it at its 45-yard line. 46-yard punts, an 18-yard return. Daniels comes into the game, by the way, second in the ACC and 16th nationally in punt return yardage, averaging 12.7. He had a touchdown against TCU earlier in the year of 69 yards. He got the guts of a burglar right here.
Not just casually picking up off the ground with one hand. I'll tell you, he's actually been one of the unsung heroes for this SMU team because he's filled in with the injuries at running back, but he's really a full-time receiver, and then he has scored as a returner in the kicking game.
There's Jennings, another little play fake. Now just going to lob it ahead. There's R.J. Maryland, Tom, making the catch, stretching out the play, and a first down coming for the Mustangs.
What a field by Kevin Jennings. He takes a couple of steps forward to draw the defenders toward him, and then the touch to just drop it over the top to big R.J. Maryland. Now SMU's going fast.
So the Mustangs bunch look to the top. Jennings with pressure coming. Sinclair ran right by him, and here goes Jennings. Now going to fire wide open Maryland. He'll back into the end zone for the touchdown. And they're ponying up out here on the farm, Tom.
They are. The Express is rolling, and what's happened is you've got a lot of Stanford eyes. You see the trip set up to the boundary. You got a lot of Stanford eyes in the backfield, and they're peeking at the quarterback. And now all of a sudden the quarterback buys just enough time and the guy gets loose, and it happens to be the best target on SMU's football team in R.J. Maryland. It's what makes the dynamic quarterback so difficult to contend with, because you have to deal with his legs, but then he can pop up and throw it over the top.
And the point is good from Colin Rogers. And now all of a sudden SMU has blown this thing open in the first quarter.
And watch Kevin Jennings. Now he's navigating the pocket, right? But now you've got some people who got their eyes forward on him because they think he's going to take off, and now you've got to contend with that. So you're in a pickle in the defensive secondary and at the linebacker level, and this galloping Mustang of an athlete he's really something special. I think he's one of the most unheralded players nationally because people don't know what to do with him, Wes. Because if you treat him like a tight end, right? You take a look at these numbers for SMU in the passing game so far tonight, and R.J. Maryland's a big reason for that. If you treat him like a tight end, you're likely not going to be in nickel defense, meaning you're going to be in base defense because you're treating him as a potential run blocker.
Right.
But if you put him in nickel and he widens out, it just creates all kinds of personnel problems on the defensive side.
Well, you see the team that was second in the ACC at 200 yards rushing has come in here and taken to the air, Tom, in this first half, on the way now to posting this nearly 300-yard first half, or 250-yard first half, I should say. And the kick goes into the end zone. The Cardinal again scrimmage from their 25. Don't forget, coming up after the game, the ACC Huddle team, a complete wrap-up of all the action here in Week 8. Highlights, analysis, interviews with players and coaches. They'll have you covered on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Hard-working crew with Taylor Tannenbaum, E.J. Manuel, Eric McLean, Coach Rick, Eddie Royal. ACC Huddle after dark from the farm tonight here in Palo Alto.
See Coach Troy Taylor there's going to pop a new quarterback on the field. It's the true freshman Elijah Brown, and they've been waiting for him to get healthy enough to play with. And I asked Coach yesterday, hey, could we see him if he's healthy enough? And he said, maybe so. Here we go.
Here's Brown taking a shot looking for Mosley, and that's intercepted and dropped. Oh my goodness, Moses dropped it. There's a flag on the play. Cale Sanders was defending the freshman Mosley. And Tim Hedgepath, our referee, will sort this out for us.
Ill-advised throw there from the true freshman.
Pass interference.
Get ready to have.
Defense, number 22. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So the pass interference on Sanders
Very fortunate.
moves the ball to the 40.
See Ahmad Moses, who's made a lot of plays near the line of scrimmage, needed to make that play in the deep third of the field. And the freshman Elijah Brown very fortunate to get away with an ill-advised throw downfield.
Just the second game of the year for Brown. He played earlier this year against Cal Poly and sacked on the second snap. Isaiah Smith has got his 3.5 sack of the year. Loss of 6 on first down.
You see the left tackle again. That's Khalil House, the true freshman, and he's working against a junior in Isaiah Smith, and it's just a mismatch off of the perimeter. And now you've got a true freshman left tackle, a true freshman quarterback who you're hoping is well versed enough to know where he's protected, where he's vulnerable, but you can't just get beat at the point of attack to the backside of a freshman quarterback.
So now 1st and 10 after the penalty becomes 2nd and 16 in the final minute of this first quarter. There's a toss play. Ford trying to find the perimeter. He'll be taken down. That's Deuce Harmon coming in from the corner spot. And now we got a flag thrown from across the way. We had an off the ball issue with Io Manor. And it's on SMU. So Tim Hedgepath and his crew will sort this out. And Rhett Lashley.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 13, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Jalen Davis Robinson with the unsportsmanlike.
Rhett Lashley on that SMU sideline does not like that call.
Nope. And he took Davis Robinson out of the game, by the way.
And it was, yeah, and it was really far away from the play. I mean, it was over to SMU's sideline as the play was near to the numbers down near the Stanford sideline.
So now ball at midfield for first down. And Elijah Brown in the ball game for his first series. This is a free play for Stanford, and Brown, and it looked like Roberts got to him. That'll be an incomplete pass. It's not a fumble. And the officials are letting this play on, even though there's an offside penalty, I think, on SMU. And now we got another flag thrown. I think a little frustration coming out as the collision with Isaiah Smith, and I believe Baklenko, the right tackle, Tom, got mixed up right in front of the Cardinal bench.
See what they discuss here on this call.
Well, we got 2 flags. We had 1 as the play was snapped. We have 2 now in front of the Stanford bench. We got a little bit of a buffet here for referee Hedgepath.
Right there, it looks like the ball and his arm is coming forward, and the officials decided to let this play out. There's Isaiah Smith. And there's the extracurricular
hang on.
From Sam Roush.
Yeah, that's the tight end.
The tight end.
My apologies to Baklenko, the right tackle.
That's a clear late hit. They may be getting an offsides on the penalty flag that was thrown at the line of scrimmage.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. Prior to the play, offside, defense number 5. That's the 5-yard penalty. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, late hit out of bounds. Fumbling team, number 86. That's a 15-yard penalty. It will be 1st and 20. The play is under further review.
So Rouse flagged for the penalty on the 15-yarder. Now
the ruling on the field of a fumble recovered by the defense is under further review. If replay determines a forward pass was thrown, there may be a foul for intentional grounding.
All right, so we've got a lengthy catalog of options going here.
Let's take a look at it right here. You're going to get a get off right here off the defensive end spot. And he's going to come here, and then your tackle is going to get worked right into the quarterback right there. This is what creates the pressure. And you get the jump, They call that penalty, but now he puts the offensive tackle. And again, that's the freshman Khalil House right back into the lap of the quarterback. And now let's see the arm, whether it's going forward, and then whether or not, as our head referee just referenced, this could result in an intentional grounding. As you see, Elijah Brown is not outside of the tackle box.
So it was called a fumble on the field. There's a look at the command center in uptown Charlotte. So called a fumble on the field, can be reviewed as an incomplete, with the addition of the incomplete pass could then be tagged with intentional ground.
Correct. So the two initial fouls were the easy portion of this. You've got the offsides on the defense. You've got the personal foul with the late hit out of bounds there by Sam Roush. Now the question is whether or not the arm was going forward for the freshman quarterback Elijah Brown, and if it was, and it was determined to be an incomplete pass, that did result, whether or not that results in an intentional grounding and whether there was a receiving target in the area.
So now we're to the portion of the program. Is this a forward pass or is this a fumble?
Remember, it was ruled as a fumble, so you got to have indisputable video evidence to see if his arm's going forward.
After further review, the passer's hand was coming forward with control of the ball. The pass was incomplete. Therefore, intentional grounding, offense number 2. That foul offsets with the offside foul, so we will repeat first down and then enforce the dead ball foul for the 15-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 25.
Well done, well said. With 22 seconds to go in the first period.
I think that's such a tough call for intentional grounding, because once his arm gets hit, you really don't know where he's throwing the football to, right? You really don't know where his intention was of where the ball was going to go to, but really this call is based off of where the ball ends up. So had he been throwing this ball downfield, which he likely could have been doing, then there wouldn't have been an intentional grounding, but because of where the ball ends up, that's how the call gets made.
There you have it. And so now it is first down and 25 off the 35 for Elijah Brown, who is continuing his first series of service here, replacing Ashton Daniels. Stanford is minus 20 on the drive. SMU's been penalized 30 yards.
This is not the direction you want to be going.
Delay a game. Defense for movement uncommon to the game. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Okay, we are now seeing this particular penalty, Tom.
Right.
I saw this will be at least the 4th or 5th one I've seen today.
Yeah, where you've got the disconcerting signals.
Right.
You know, what is a defender doing that could be leading to, and I think they're going to catch number 24 right there.
Kobe
Wilson, the linebacker, for inching forward or jumping forward a little bit, trying to draw an offsides penalty.
Brown wanted to hit the quick slant, shoots it to Roush here. He'll step out of bounds. First catch of the night for Sam Roush, 15th of the year for the big tight end from Lipscomb Academy in Nashville. Makes his 13th straight start tonight for the Cardinal.
Short gainer there.
The ruling on the field is a completed pass. That is the end of the first quarter.
There you have it. So 21-0. Kevin Jennings has thrown 3 touchdown passes. Rhett Lashley's team's in front after 15 minutes in Palo Alto. I'm telling you, the where to watch thing, Tom, it's a new revelation.
It's your favorite. I know it. I know you love it.
Used it today 3 or 4 times.
You think the tree is using it?
Oh, absolutely. Band in the tree welcomed us here tonight. Here's Brown dumping. This is Rouse the catch and digging for the first, and he'll have it. I think I say he have it. He's going to be right on the line at the SMU 40. Sam Rouse is going to get the first down here. Terrific play. Moses the stop for SMU. It could have been a lot more.
Yeah, Elijah Brown does a nice job getting back, getting set, and then being decisive with the throw. He sees the check down, hit it. Now allow your targets to do the rest. Roush does a nice job breaking tackles and forward momentum to get the first down. That was a huge pickup just to slow down the pace of what SMU's been able to accomplish so far in this game.
Yeah, early stages of quarter number 2. Best play of the night offensively. Here's another one, and Mosley can't hang on. Oh, and he got deflected and picked on the backside. Deuce Harmon has it. Mosley couldn't hang on. He did deflect it, and Deuce Harmon has opened up club takeaway tonight.
Well, he sure has. And they've opened up club takeaway for a lot of hours so far in the 2024 season on defense for SMU. But this is caused by an errant throw on the RPO. Elijah Brown makes the right read. You got to make that catch if you're Emmett Mosley, but you can't extend the ball out over the middle on digs and slant routes and things of that nature that are going to put the ball in harm's way if you don't secure the catch. That's exactly what happened as Deuce Harmon finishes it by essentially just completing the tip drill that's practiced every single day in the sport of football.
And that is the 11th interception of the year for SMU. They're number 5 in FBS. They're 3rd in FBS with 16 forced turnovers. And off the Mustang 45, our first look at Jake Bailey picking up a couple. And there's club takeaway. Scott Simons, the proprietor of the place, the defensive coordinator of the Mustangs. And this crowd believes they can take the ball away. It's almost the first, if not the first, the second thing he talks about each time we meet with him.
Should have a sign over their locker room door that says these doors shall remain unlocked during business hours. Because that's exactly what they've done all year long. And they haven't just created takeaways, they've turned the takeaways into points. I think that's what's been so complimentary about this SMU team. The kicking game, offense, defense, they play off of each other, they energize each other, and they have found ways to be dominant when it comes to putting points on the board.
2-by-2 look here for Jennings on 3rd and 5 now for the Mustangs. From the pocket, Kevin Jennings is trapped, going to try and slip it here to the near side. That was Daniels, the intended receiver, but the pressure was coming. David Bailey, edge rusher, had looped around and had done a really good job getting Kevin Jennings on the spot.
Well, that's a good job by Kevin Jennings, just getting the ball out of his hand and not suffering a bigger loss right there. And what a stop right here for Stanford on defense. Things have not gone your way. You have not been able to create any breaks, get any breaks, yet the defense steps on the field. Is going to get this ball back potentially for this Stanford offense. Now they got to get themselves in rhythm and get some things going offensively.
Tiger Bachmeyer going to wait on the punt of Isaac Pearson. First punt of the night for SMU. Pearson comes in averaging just under 44 a punt, and Bachmeyer will signal for and make the fair catch. So we're a couple minutes into quarter number 2 here at Stanford. Mustangs in front by 3 scores.
Welcome back to Stanford. How about this, Tom and Wes? During that Stanford defensive possession, head coach, offensive coordinator, and quarterbacks coach, Coach Taylor, was on the sidelines that entire series with Elijah Brown watching the iPad, and he told us this week he loves being a head coach, but he doesn't ever want to get out of those X's and O moments with his young quarterback.
He's a great visit, by the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Really enjoyed our time with him and his staff. So here is Brown operating at the quarterback spot. Second series for Elijah Brown and trying to go to Roush. Overshot him. I said Roush. That was not Roush. It was Benji Blackburn. That's another freshman from Christopher Columbus in Miami. Jalen Davis Robinson was covering him defensively.
It's coming from all over the place. You take a look at the Luke's look back. 4-star quarterback, 11th ranked pocket passer in last year's class. They're really high on him. Highly touted player, ESPN 300 ranking. And they were excited about him from the moment he arrived on campus, but he's been banged up a bit. And obviously, you can see the inexperience. He's got arm talent. He's athletic. He just needs to play.
And he'll get the call here. Oh, nice crease run, and spinning away is Ford. And he'll pick up the Stanford first down. With a couple minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. Feels like the 15-yard run helps maybe open up the door for some potential balance here.
Yeah, pull guard 55. That's Pauley, but clearly SMU not with the correct run fit. They overrun it to the outside. They're not gap sound at the linebacker level. and a fresh set of downs for Stanford. You know, we talk about these freshmen that we keep mentioning for Stanford. They're good players, but they're young players. They're inexperienced, and they've played with 15 of them at once. And when you're trying to build a program, that creates its own challenges.
Here is Brown, far side throw. Mosley up the ladder, could not hang on. It's incomplete. Cale Sanders was there. Emmett Mosley, the fifth, nearly had a circus catch, and he's shaken up on the play here.
For an injury.
So Sanders contesting the catch by Mosley. And we're going to take a timeout as they're out to check on the freshman from Chicago. He missed the early part of the season with some injuries, debuted at Clemson, and again, just like with Brown, the prospects high for Mosley. Back in a moment.
Let's go
back tonight in California, in the ACC's Committee for Racial and Social Justice, in conjunction with its member institutions, have identified October 11 through 20 as ACC Unity Week, and both teams here before the game tonight. And one of the really interesting stories, Dana and Tom, that we found out a couple of weeks ago is that of quarterback coach De'Aaron King of SMU. You may remember him as a player at Miami, right? Transferred in from Houston. Well, he's now one of 4 black quarterback coaches at Texas FBS and FCS programs. Brett Lashley, so excited about the prospects of what De'Aaron King, the coach, is going to be. Not just a talented quarterback, but now the mentorship he's actually providing to a lot of these players, too.
Well, and he loves him as a recruiter, and he trusts him. That's the one thing he told us. He said, listen, he's coaching the quarterbacks. I may pop in the room every now and then, but I trust him.
There's a give. Ford trying to get to the edge. A flag is thrown on the play. He's helped out of bounds. A yard down, maybe. And let's see what the flag is. Thrown from behind the play, going to the left.
Holding. Offense number 5. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
It's on Chris Davis Jr., his fellow running back.
Yeah. It's going to be at or near the line of scrimmage, just to the left side where the ball was snapped, I believe.
Tom, the numbers on Elijah Brown out of modern day in California are crazy.
Well, they're outstanding. I mean, it is such a pipeline for high-level quarterback play. You know, the likes of Matt Leinart, Colt Brennan, Bryce Young,
right?
Elijah Brown, who we're talking about right now, Matt Barkley. The list goes on and on and on, and it's a high level of football. And you know, when you're getting a guy from that program, he's going to be ready to play at the next level.
Here's Brown up in the pocket, tries to scoop it to the middle of the field. That ball intended, I believe, for Roush, and Kilgore was right there defensively, the linebacker for the Mustangs. So his senior year, real quick, and you get a look at Roush. Elijah Brown's senior year, if the numbers are right here, 70% completion, 2,900 yards, and 39 touchdowns.
Yeah, 44-2 record, I believe, as a starter.
Wow.
So I mean, that's a high level of production. Obviously, a very bright young man. They're really excited about him. And again, you're playing with a true freshman quarterback, 2 true freshman running backs, a true freshman receiver, and a true freshman left tackle. There are going to be a few bumps in the road.
0 for 4 on third down. Back again, Roush, middle of the field, and Kilgore one more time, I think. Or 34, I beg your pardon. That was Walker. It was Kilgore a moment ago. Now Walker steps in. Same spot on the field, got Roush on the ground, and Stanford going to have to punt. And I think that's the part about this, and we've talked with Coach Taylor about it yesterday in our visit. Going the route with these young players, might as well go ahead and get them in the pool, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's a great recruiting tactic as well.
Punt away. Daniels, fair catch it. Ball pop loose. Cardinals got it. Roderick Daniels lost his balance as he was trying to come to a stop at the Mustang 45-yard line. Feet gave way, and Stanford comes up with the turnover, and it's Bernadelle, the linebacker, I believe. Gython Bernadelle comes up with a terrific play on special teams for Troy Taylor's club.
See Roderick Daniels, he waves for the fair catch right there. I don't know if he took his eyes off of the incoming defender for Stanford in punt cover. See number 49 right there. That's Evan Jackson, the senior wide receiver. But now you've got good field position for the freshman quarterback.
Best start of the night from a drive perspective. Here's a reverse. Mosley headed to the far side. And Mosley spun around. Sanders got a hold to him. Wachovia, 23, pulls him down right around the 43-yard line.
Wes, you mentioned these freshmen and, throwing them in there and seeing how they perform, how they handle it, what their maturity level is. But then when you're selling that in recruiting, the fact that you can come here and have an opportunity to play right away, get on the field. And that's something because you don't have the participation in the transfer portal that your peers do, and you're going to do it through the high school ranks and player development. It can be a great asset for you if you use it correctly.
Second down, 7. Brown up in the pocket in trouble, and he'll be taken down. Harvey, another play behind the line tonight for the Mustangs.
This time on Luke Baklenko, number 78, the right tackle. Both of these tackles are they're opening up the edge. There's Harvey, who's been a constant mainstay in the Stanford backfield.
So Jafari Harvey, who played 50 games for the Canes before coming over tonight in his 57th game, came into the contest with 1 sack. He's made a play behind the line, and now his 2nd sack of the year. Here's Brown again, launching quickly, and that ball well overthrown. Intended, I believe, down the far side. That was Mosley. Boy, the young freshman from Chicago at 6'2". Hard to believe he's a freshman.
Yeah.
And
still not seeing much targets, or many targets, that is, towards number 13, Elikayo Manor,
right,
who's their go-to NFL caliber guy, but they have not been able to target him and isolate him in the way I think they'd like to, especially downfield on contested catches.
Here's Flintoff. And Daniels again runs away from this one, and the ball almost hit a fellow teammate. Now Bernadelle leads the charge, and it'll be touched up inside the 5. It's a 45-yard punt by Aiden Flintoff. And Tom, you mentioned Elikayo Manor, and he's only got the 1 catch here so far.
Yeah, and he's down at the bottom of the screen, and he's one-on-one, but they got a safety over the top because I think they want to limit the vertical opportunities if Stanford were to choose to really stretch them. But I think there's some short and intermediate stuff that you can get the ball into his hands and then see what he does after the catch, because he's really difficult to tackle in the open field.
SMU starts from its 6. And L.J. Johnson is the back on this particular exchange for Rhett Lashley's club. And Tafiti makes the play. First guy there. Tabarua, junior from Hawaii, led Stanford in tackles for loss as the ball game unfolded tonight. He had a dozen stops in his last 2 games. Was a real force last week in South Bend in the first half. So second down and 9, and Jennings trying to throw the football here, in trouble, gets to the edge and threw it away, and it's picked. It's an interception, and Lieber, who had the pick 6 at Syracuse, has come away with another interception here for the Cardinal.
And what an absolute gift, Wes, because it almost surprised him. If you watch Lieber, I think he thinks that he's working towards the sideline. He's used the sideline to help the offensive target, the intended target, be forced out of bounds, but then he pops his eyes up late and one falls right into his lap.
SMU had only had 2 interceptions this year. They were number 11 in FBS. Jennings fires his 2nd pick here. The pressure from Sinclair, another terrific prospect on that defensive side. And there's Lieber, who comes away with the pick. That's his 2nd of the year.
A rare critical error from Kevin Jennings, who's been so good with the football over the last 4 weeks.
So the Cardinal here get it in the red zone, and this is Ford, and he gets pulled down by Roberts behind the line. So Stanford, who on the year, Tom, this is their 23rd red zone possession. They only have 11 touchdowns. They've turned it over 3 times. But when you've been blitzed from the start by SMU.
Right.
And you get an opportunity like this, Troy Taylor cannot afford for them to have this go by the boards.
You can't have 2 back-to-back series where you get possession of the football based off of a blunder or an error from SMU, who started off so hot, and they come away with 0 points. They have got to get points here with this field position.
You see the scoring percentage for Stanford. That was a loss of 3 on first down, and now
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty. It's still second down.
so the 5-yard penalty on the delay, and this is Elijah Brown.
Yep.
At the controls here for Troy Taylor's club.
Got to know where your 2 25-second play clocks are. They're to the right of each upright on both sides of the end zone here. And again, just a young freshman in the red area, big moment, playing major college football. You're going to make those mistakes. Can't go out of field goal range here, though.
2 backs are with him. Here's Brown again in the pocket. Now going to sneak out, and he'll be pulled down from behind. That is Isaiah Smith. He's had a terrific first half for SMU. The Mustangs have done a nice job for Scott Simons, their defensive coordinator, Tom, of kind of boxing in. Now, Daniels did escape a couple times, but on the whole, SMU's been able to build the proverbial wall here, it looks like.
They have, and when they've given up some runs on the ground, they have tackled well in the open field. And good job right there by Elijah Brown, not making a bad decision catastrophic, because you got to understand where you're at on the field. Don't take a sack here. Make sure you get points.
This 2-down territory, Lutz?
Potentially.
Here's Brown, wants to throw, looping for the end zone. That's Io Manor, pulls it in. Touchdown for the Cardinal. And another terrific catch for the 13.
Well, there's that contested matchup advantage that we talked about with Io Manor. Kale Saunders Jr., the safety, he's isolated on him, and he's just going to work and break to the corner here. And you got to go up and get it. You just got to go up and win. Sanders is going up to win. Now Mano takes it away from him. What a huge confidence play for Elijah Brown.
No question.
13.
3-play touchdown drive. And now the point after from Emmett Kenny, and the Cardinal on the board. 21-7. Well, you get a heck of a play by Lieber, who helped close the show at Syracuse, right?
You got it.
Mitch Lieber comes up with a pick, his second of the year. And then you need a calling card at wide receiver. This is a good one to have. Io Manor has got another touchdown. Cardinal on the board. Well, after a lot didn't go right early, tonight's food line, food for thought. Stanford's gotten a little optimism. First of all, Mitch Lieber. Look at this play. Steps right in front of the ball. That's his second pick of the year. And then Elijah Brown needs a boost of confidence. Throw it to 13.
Absolutely. Throw it up man-to-man, one-on-one. And you know what? At the very worst, you're going to get an incompletion, right? Or you're going to get a reception. I think they need to target him more. But you're right. The confidence for Elijah Brown to throw that touchdown pass and to capitalize on the gift that SMU gave you was critical for Stanford on that series.
And this is going to be Brashard Smith. He'll work here to the near side. And boy, took a hit at the 25 and not much more from that. It looked like Essa Dubre, the linebacker, caught him flush. And let's go downstairs to Dana.
Spending time on the Stanford sideline, there was no indication that they were out of this game. Their body language was positive, and you have to think that comes from their head coach, Troy Taylor. Cool as a cucumber on the sideline, never too high, never too low.
Dana, you're so right. I keep watching him when there's a turnover on downs, and everything is even keel, right? And I think his team, because of his personality, they don't get shaken either. They just got to execute better and take advantage of some of these mistakes that SMU's making.
So after SMU surrenders points on a turnover, here's a first down play. It's incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up. Ball intended for Maryland. Now, all of a sudden, we turn our attention to a degree back here to Kevin Jennings, because the road's been a little bumpy here lately for an offense that started off like it was in 5th gear from the jump.
Oh, it was scorched earth early on, and they have just been out of sync for the last couple of series. And credit Stanford defensively coming up with some plays.
Cardinal going to rush 4 here. Jennings will flush to the left, throw it back flag is for a hold, I'm sure. And the pass is complete. That's Moochie Dixon, or no, that's Hudson, or Keyshawn Smith. Third try was perfect. Just shy of the first down.
Holding. Offense number 71. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
That's on Logan Parr.
Well, I'll tell you, Wes, if you're going to do it right.
Oh, go all the way.
Yeah, don't go half glass full, because if you're going to do it, this is one heck of a way to hold with the arm outstretched and then just tackle to the ground. And that's David Bailey, number 23, the defensive end for Stanford. And that was an absolute takedown.
So it's 2nd and 20. By the way, Jennings just one of his last 4 for 3 yards here, Tom, after starting 6 of 8. Quick shot for Daniels on the perimeter. Roderick Daniels spinning through. Back near the original line of scrimmage. It'll still be 3rd and very long. And there's David Bailey. Another play by the edge rusher for these Cardinals.
So now Stanford gets to substitute as SMU substitutes. And a big 3rd down coming up here on 3rd and 12.
Yep. A little over 5.5 to go in the first half.
Safeties are creeping up to the line of scrimmage. They're only about 10, 11 yards off.
Here's Jennings, straight drop. Back up in the pocket. Throws behind Daniels, incomplete. It was coming down around him. Ernest Cooper. And now we got a flag on the play. Cooper got Jennings off the spot. Also, Josiah Galvin.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 43. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That's on Galvin. And Troy Taylor's a little curious.
Well, that's been the biggest difference of the last 2 series is Stanford's getting after it up front. You're going to see, whoa.
And the crowd seeing it on the board here at Stanford Stadium.
That's going to be a call I think this crew wishes they had back.
So it'll be 1st and 10. Out near the 40 after the penalty. Jennings a quick shot to the far side. And Keyshawn Smith, who's already got a touchdown catch tonight, motors near midfield.
Let's take a look at this again. And again, this provided SMU with a fresh set of downs on 3rd and 12. They may have caught hands to the face up near the face mask area. It certainly wasn't a roughing the passer from a contact standpoint.
Jennings on the first down play. I think they're going to give him credit for at least 5 before you hit the slide button. And it'll be 2nd down from there. And you see Jennings, he wants a little tempo here, as does his head coach. There's a quick handoff. Daniels can't seem to get his footing, Tom, in the run game here tonight.
So a couple of things here that have shifted since the first quarter. Number one, in order to go fast, you've got to get first down.
Sure,
right?
Right.
Well, what's happened is Stanford started to take over up front. So there haven't been opportunities for big gainers through the air or on the ground that have resulted in first downs to allow SMU to dictate circumstances to Stanford's defense. Credit the Cardinal here, because they've really ramped up their game and caused SMU to stall and be out of their game.
And it's been a pretty salty defense for the most part this year,
especially versus the run.
Yep. And now Rhett Lashley going to call a timeout. He saw the play clock winding down.
SMU, their first of the half.
And Bob Prataroli, our director, has shown you several cuts here to the head coach of the Mustangs talking in the headset. We assume he's talking to Kevin Jennings, right?
Yep.
And there was a lot of discussion and communication. Whenever we see that, and I think we've done these visits enough now, Tom and Dana, to know that Rhett Lashley doesn't like to say a lot. So when he's saying a lot, he's trying to get Jennings to understand maybe a little bit more than just the average call.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you want to get the call in early. That's number one. So then as a coach, if there's a nugget or maybe a little anecdote you want to add in there, hey, check for a corner blitz off the boundary side here. Just be aware of it. Those types of things, you can utilize that as the radio goes off with 15 seconds remaining. But yeah, when he's talking a lot, I don't think that's where they want to be.
Yeah.
But obviously, offensively, they're not doing what he wants them to do, which may be causing more conversation.
You see the 41-year-old head coach of the Mustangs, 23-10 as their head coach. Here's Jennings escaping the pocket to his left. Now going to spin and gun it. Caught. Middle of the field. Coming back to the near side, L.J. Johnson, and an SMU first down.
Good grief.
How about Kevin Jennings with the full pirouette in the middle of the field?
How about defensive coordinators pulling their hair out to the new age quarterback of college football?
Here's the 1st and 10. Jennings, another quick throw. Inside catch. Keyshawn Smith again. And a big first half for Smith. That'll be his 3rd grab to the 17 and another first down, Tom.
Oh, he takes the front door here, and he's working and he's working. He's getting flushed, as we talked about, getting away with a hold there at the left guard position. But man, what a spectacular play by Jennings. And if you've noticed, each of those last 2 first down conversions, boom, SMU right up to the line of scrimmage.
Yep, ran the ball that time. L.J. Johnson picked up a couple of yards. 6 to go for the first down. Roderick Daniels is checked in. Good look at Jennings. South Oak Cliff High School. And here goes Daniels, left side. And he'll be a yard, maybe 2 from the first down here with 2:45 and counting. And Tom, we're getting to the point now where, remember, Stanford gets the ball start second half.
Absolutely.
2-minute timeout coming up. SMU's got a couple timeouts left. Stanford's got all 3 for Troy Taylor if they choose.
Well, I think SMU, this is 2-down territory to get a first down. They were so confident in their ability to run the ball, and they bring in Stone Eby, number 44, who's a hybrid tight end / H-back. They love to utilize him in their run game as a lead blocker.
10th play of the drive. Here's Daniels, first down. Crashes to the 5. 1st and goal it'll be for SMU. And the Mustangs will let the clock go to the 2-minute timeout. We'll step aside with them here in Palo Alto. Stanford has gotten on the board with a touchdown pass from Brown to Io Manor, and Troy Taylor's team's got to find out if they can post a red zone stop. 2-touchdown lead for the number 21 team in the country tonight on the Farm.
Two-minute timeout here in Palo Alto. ACC Network football kicks off next week. Georgia Tech on the road in Blacksburg versus Virginia Tech. That kicks off at noon Eastern. Then Wake Forest at Stanford out here on the Farm. Midday game at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. And then we shall be at Duke in Durham as SMU travels to take on the Blue Devils next week, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Terrific win last night for Manny Diaz's team against Florida State. What he can do, Tom. Here's the first down play for Jennings. Back foot and threw it out of the back of the end zone. Closest guy was Moochie Dixon.
That's a heady play.
Stanford's cranked up the pressure too.
They have. Listen, they deserve a ton of credit for how they've changed the tone of this game, and they've limited SMU from being the offensive team they want to be by dictating the pace of play.
7 different Mustangs have caught a pass in this first half for the 24th straight game, and this is L.J. Johnson for the touchdown. And a flag has been thrown after Johnson broke the inline for the score here. And we'll see what this officiating crew with Tim Hedgepath has for us. It'll be Johnson's 3rd touchdown run of the year if it stands.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense, number 51. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
5-yard touchdown run. Justin Osborne guilty of the extracurricular. It's a 12-play, 74-yard drive in 4:48, Tom. To push it back to 3 touchdowns.
I think that's 3 penalties now tonight for unsportsmanlike conduct against SMU. Those got to get cleaned up if you're Rhett Lashley going into the locker room. You can't have that and play winning football.
And Rogers' point after is good. By the way, Colin Rogers is the leading scorer in the ACC, averaging about 10 points a game. Straight ahead running for L.J. Johnson, huh?
Yeah, and he's matched up against Tristan St. Clair. You see 51 right there in the middle of your screen. He's already got St. Clair on the ground, and then he goes after him a second time, long after the ball has crossed the goal line. And again,
they're gonna throw the flag on that, Tom.
It's not clean football, and you know this team's got aspirations of potentially competing in the ACC down the stretch of the last 6 weeks of the season, and you just can't get away with that stuff.
Yep. Rhett Lashley's team's built a 3-touchdown difference here in the final 2 minutes of this first half. By the way, Thursday night for Mr. Barry and Mullen and Harry Lyles at Acrisure, Tom.
Yep.
Syracuse and Pitt. My goodness.
It's going to be fun.
Wow.
How about the quarterback play in that game?
Exactly.
Eli Holstein and Kyle McCord at Syracuse.
You bet.
Two teams playing really good football right now.
Bachmeier back to take the kick, and this is Kazimovitz, and he is taken down at the 30-yard line. So with 1:46 to go, and Troy Taylor has got all 3 timeouts to work with on this possession.
Well, he certainly does. Let's see how aggressive he decides to be here as you take a look.
Whoa, hey now.
You like that? Yeah, you like that? My top 8 quarterbacks. We do it each and every week on ACC PM every single Wednesday. You want to check us out. And listen, I put this list together, and it's not necessarily cumulative. It may have some other traits like, hey, did you win the football game? Did you play really well coming off of a bye week, or did you have a bye week and I didn't include you in that week? But that's the top 8 right there. It's always difficult coming up with the way to come up with the 8th guy.
This is Ford on the first carry. The handoff from Brown. By the way, the number 1, the top of the chart there.
Yeah.
319 yards and 4 scores today in an absolute shootout in Derby City.
What a game. Who can get off the field? I mean, really, at the end of the day, that's what it came down to.
Here comes Brown and threw it just beyond the reach of Roush, incomplete. Kobe Wilson was there in coverage for SMU. We got an incomplete pass. I don't know if our producer Ben Ward can put that back up here real quick.
Yeah, we get it back up there.
Because I go back to the McCord-Holstein game on Thursday night here.
Right.
Because when you think about the way we came into this league, that is now the guy who you think is, well, he's listed as 6 there, but he's got to be. Is he 2?
No, that's his number.
Oh, he's number 6. He's the second guy.
Yeah, there you go.
Holstein.
Yes.
That's 2 and 4 then in your top 8.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And Haynes King suffered the injury, didn't play against Notre Dame today. He's been playing great football for Georgia Tech.
Ball on the way to Io Manor got broken up and almost picked. Wacobia, wearing the 23 jersey for the Mustangs, knocked it in the air, and then it was Walker that almost came through for the pick.
It's a rare drop from Io Manor. You're right, almost an interception right there, which would have been lethal with 1:19 left.
Yep, so now 4th down, and Flintoff to punt for the Cardinal here, and gets it away. Daniels back to his left, almost like he's chasing a fly ball in the gap, and it goes out of bounds. So, all right, Coach Luganbill, 72 seconds to go in this first half.
I know what Rhett Lashley.
2 timeouts for Rhett Lashley.
I know what his mentality is and how he wants to put the foot to the pedal and press it down firm. And listen, you know, this is who they are. I think they understand the moment. They understand situational football. They're going to start off the 3rd quarter on defense. But they're not going to change what their mentality is. This is what's gotten them to this point. Being aggressive, going fast, pushing the ball downfield, run or pass. And Kevin Jennings has been a big part of that.
They have 10 scoring drives this year in less than 2 minutes, 2 of them here tonight. And that ball got thrown away incomplete. Maryland was trying to release, I believe.
Yeah.
And could not get out of the traffic being created off the left side. And Rhett Lashley very quickly
There
down
was no
toward.
foul for intentional grounder. The passer was outside the tackle box. 2nd down.
There you have it.
Well, they're trying to set up the screen there because, quite frankly, Stanford's really upped their game in the pass rush part of this second quarter. Maybe try to get them a little over-aggressive. Good job by Stanford standing their ground.
2nd down, that's Maryland in motion. They're going to hand the ball. This is Daniels. Tried to veer outside and actually gave a yard maybe back on the play as we go inside a minute on the Richardson tackle.
Another one of those true freshmen, Cam Richardson, who they're relying on. Start 2 true freshmen on the back end. Brandon Nicholson, number 9. 28, Cam Richardson. Not an easy thing to do defensively, but when you're playing well up front the way they are, it can mask some of that youth on the back end.
Those long flights for Richardson, no big deal. He's from Irvington, New Jersey.
SMU settled in here a little, West, once they didn't get that screen off to a good start on 1st down.
4-man rush by the Cardinal. Jennings up in the pocket. They'll take off up the sideline and step out of bounds with 20 seconds to go. And that's a 1st down for the Mustangs at the 32. And
that might change things a little bit.
10-yard run, huh? Think so?
Well, you got a 10-yard run. You still got 2 timeouts. Let's see what type of success they can have on first down. Thought they might dial it back a little bit there until they converted that.
Cardinal bring 4 again. Jennings underneath. This is Daniels, and he will work his way. That's a first down. Timeout. Rhett Lashley. 11 seconds left.
Yep.
Charge timeout.
I'm always curious,
SMU.
Tom.
They're second of the half.
Where's the tipping
It'll be
point for a
30
guy?
seconds.
Now, Rhett Lashley's got a resume of under 2 minutes, so we
Sure.
knew that this had, this kind of possibility. The interesting thing you look for here is, okay, I see what you're doing. Now, where can you pick up he's still got to get the launch play. He hadn't had the 20-yard play yet.
No, he hasn't.
And he's only got 1 timeout and now 11 seconds left. Or is he trying to get Rodgers in range, who, by the way, kicked a 55-yarder 2 weeks ago?
Well, Stanford's not going to allow them, if they don't have a coverage bust, they're not going to allow them to get one over the top. So I think Rhett Lashley's just trying to get in field goal range here. And if he's going to dink and dunk it underneath, he still has a timeout left. Get past the 45-yard line here. With enough time on the clock, you might have a shot.
So here's the snap. Cardinal only rushed 3. Jennings shoots it down the field, and that is caught. Bailey falling out of bounds with 6 seconds left.
What a spectacular throw. And on the one play where Stanford could not get any pass rush, it was that play that allowed for a clean pocket and Kevin Jennings to throw a strike on the corner out to Bailey.
And here's Colin Rodgers, who hit from 55 at Louisville 2 weeks ago. This is 51, to see if he can add one more mark going to the locker room.
What a well-executed drive to get to this point with 20 seconds remaining.
Here's the kick. It's away by Rodgers. It's got to hurry, and it is good. 51 yards from Colin Rodgers on the final play of the first half.
That's how you manage a game. Outstanding by SMU there. Come up with just enough plays, utilization of the clock, awareness by the players, and then to get that long gain to Jake Bailey on the sideline to set this up, and it just has enough.
Yep, crawled over the upright and the crossbar, and now all of a sudden SMU's taking a locker room lead of 31-7, and that's the way it'll stay. So 31-7 is the difference at the break. Next up, Taylor Tannenbaum in the ACC huddle.
All right, thank you, Wes. Welcome into your ACC Network halftime report live here from Stanford. The fans are here. The student section's out in full force. 31-7. SMU leads Stanford at halftime. We were watching this whole thing go down here under the lights. The sun has officially set out in beautiful California. All right, what we just saw there was execution from SMU heading into the locker room. What did you like what you saw on that last drive?
I love what I saw. SMU trying to grab more points. I wanted to have Stanford does get the ball coming out in the third quarter. And look, Stanford's gotten better defensively. I do like how Kevin Jennings has played, the quarterback for SMU. But again, excellent execution there, understanding the situation, getting out of bounds right before it, hitting a corner right out of bounds as well, getting the field goal out there, 51-yarder. That's big-time stuff.
It was flawless. I mean, a great job by Kevin understanding the situation, not taking a sack, throwing the ball away when there was nothing there, kind of to start the drive, and then just marching down to get the field goal. It's situational football. When you need it the most, like for a game-winning situation, this is the best way to get reps, to do it live in a game here. So thought that was great. Really good play calling and execution by the players.
Exactly. I mean, this game, they already got the game in hand. Now you just want to be clean. No, seriously, man. It's been over from the beginning.
It feels like it.
Yeah, I mean, now Stanford is just kind of playing Elijah Brown. They got some young guys out there. They're just getting some reps because SMU is really in control of this game. And Coach Lashley just wants to see his team finish this thing off in the second half. We're probably going to see some backups.
I mean, it's 364 yards to 77. I mean, it's just, it's outrageous. 31-7 here. You're seeing just a team that, number one, just looks like they care a little bit more. And again, I know Stanford has some injuries, but that's football, man. Woo. This is what we do. That's a part of it. And you got to go out there and you got to play hard. just hasn't quite looked like that. SMU just looks like on a totally different planet right now. And they're the team that came from the group of 5. They're the team that was supposed to be building. So it's interesting, though. In a hurry, this team has gotten very good.
Yeah, SMU took an early 21-0 lead, and they really haven't looked back. Stanford, though, making a quarterback change, putting their young freshman in, Elijah Brown. So we'll see what happens in the second half of this one. But we got more to talk about after the break on your ACC Network halftime report. We got to take a trip to the Ville because you had a high-scoring, high-flying affair between Miami and Louisville. We'll break it all down. Stay with us after the break. Welcome back to your ACC Network halftime report. Pretty cool moment just now. Chiney Ogwumike, one of our very own at ESPN, inducted into the Stanford Athletics Hall of Fame this weekend, so she's being honored here at halftime. Also got a contract extension this week, which is pretty awesome. All right, to the Ville we go. Number 6, Miami, taking on Louisville. Teddy Bridgewater honored at this game. Kentucky Sports Hall of Famer as of this year as well. We'll pick it up in the third quarter. Cards down 7. Tyler Shuck finds Ja'Cory Brooks. 21-yard score. We're all tied at 31. Later in the third, Cam Ward with plenty of time. You don't want to give this guy a lot of time.
No, and this is just creativity to the max. Really good job finding his guy. And then get out. Get to the end zone, Eddie. Go! If he was 6'1", it was a touchdown.
63-yard catch and run. Miami would score, though, to go back up 38-31. Early fourth quarter. Back and forth we go. Shuck to Duke Watson. We're tied again at 38. So how would Miami respond? That's the question. Well, exactly how you'd expect. Ward to Sam Brown Jr. breaks a tackle, and this one's good for a 59-yard gain before he's finally dragged down by a defender around the 20-yard line. Later in the drive, they keep things on the ground. Knock it on the door. A.J. Allen finds his way into the end zone, puts Miami back in front, 45-38. And then with 6 minutes left to play, facing 3rd and 17, Ward, EJ, again, you can't give this guy that much time.
Yeah, understanding the situation, 3rd and 17, you got to have it. And Cam Ward delivers once again. That's a huge gain. Who'd him change?
Michael Irvin going crazy. Then check this out. Same drive. Ward is hit by TJ Quinn. Antonio Watts recovers.
Ring, ring, ring.
And takes it all the way to the house. That would be a fumble for a touchdown, right?
How many times are you going to call?
That's a touchdown. That's a fumble right there.
Okay, so you guys say it's touchdown?
I disagree.
But not so fast.
It's a fumble to me.
The arms going forward.
The ball goes sideways.
Empty
We're
hand.
split. Well, the referees reversed it, and they say it's incomplete. So Miami continues on, and they capitalize. Damian Martinez rushes for a 30-yard score. Miami extends its lead. Louisville did have a chance late onside kick, but unable to do anything with that. So Miami wins on the road, 52-45. Crazy one there in Louisville. If you took the over, that was probably pretty good for you.
Yep.
What'd you see out of the Canes beating Louisville today?
It was just, I mean, an evenly matched game, and one team had Cam Ward. You know, that's the difference. Those third downs, he's able to pick up with his legs. He makes throws that nobody else in college football can make, really, and he's just special. And the fact that the defense could even play better to make this team even better is scary.
That's the next part, getting back to that, getting back to what we saw, from that defense early on in the season. Right now, it's been a little suspect, but you have this guy right here. I mean, he won't be denied. He's such a great player, so creative, so calm. I mean, nothing rattles this dude, and it's just been so impressive to see it. Literally, we've said the same thing for 8 weeks, and he keeps delivering. He keeps delivering. We haven't seen something yet, EJ, that's too much for him to bring his team back, and it's quite frankly, it's fun to watch.
Well, look, that's who Cam Ward is.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut you off there, but I mean, I said that back at the spring game. I even called you and told you, like, this guy's for real.
Did.
But I loved how Damian Martinez, the running back, got going today. That was going to be huge for them, too. Take a little bit of pressure off Cam Ward. That way he doesn't feel like he has to make every single play. I'm sure he doesn't feel that way anyways, but it's nice to get that production from another back in the transfer portal.
Tyler Shuck with a great effort at quarterback for Louisville, too. But like you guys said, one team just had Cam Ward in the end and was able to finish with the win. All right, let's go to our other top 10 team. Clemson Tigers, number 10 in the country, playing host to Virginia today. A special one here in Death Valley. Tony Elliott, his alma mater, he coached under Dabo Swinney for a decade before he took the job at Virginia. Back where he belonged, right at home. But here, second quarter tied. Phil Maffa bulldozes his way in for the 3-yard score. Tigers take a 17-10 lead. In the third, Clemson now up 24-10, adding to it. Goodbye. Antonio Williams is fast, I would say.
But too easy.
36-yard touchdown. Tigers up 31-10. just 3 minutes later. 4th and 1 for the Tigers. Forget the down to distance. It doesn't really matter.
Low-key, this is psychotic, and I love it. It is such a great play call on 4th and 1. Sneak 2 tight ends out, find your guy. It's beautiful.
Clemson wins 48-31. Also, Pat Henry right there with 2 touchdowns on the day. All right, you say that's psychotic, but
yeah.
You liked it, obviously.
Well, no,
what did you see out of Clemson?
It's been really fun to see the play calling from Garrett Riley. Like, he is getting very comfortable, and so is Cade Klubnik, and so is Antonio Williams, so is Phil Mott. Like, these guys they're doing stuff with these athletes that's really fun to see and opening up the playbook and putting them in very creative situations, but it starts with 2. He's the guy that, EJ, you brought it up earlier, his time clock, it's been electric this year. I got to go to my next read. I got to go to my next guy. I got to scramble, extend a play, throw it downfield, run. His decision-making has been unbelievable.
Yeah, it's been elite, and everybody's on the same page. And even the defense, special teams, Clemson looks like a team that wants to win the title, and that's how they're playing right now.
I'm still all about the guys around them playing a lot better. You saw the double move right there by TJ Moore. You could have threw that for a touchdown, so those guys are playing lights out as well.
I like to see that.
He got an arm on him now, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he can throw.
Got an arm.
Got an arm.
Yeah. Athlete.
All right,
Jump shot, too.
A little bit more on the other side of your ACC Network halftime report after we show you these scores. So right now, of course, 31-7 SMU up on Stanford.
NC State.
At halftime, NC State pulling off a big win, their first ACC win over Cal. Cal missed a late field goal, 24-23 in the final of that one. Wake Forest also picking up a nice road win today. Keyshawn Smith on the receiving end of this touchdown. SMU with the lead. We'll be back with more after the break. Welcome back to your ACC Network halftime report. What other place would you want to be right now on a beautiful Saturday night in Stanford than at this football game? Hey, when it's over between SMU and Stanford, the ACC Huddle will, of course, have you covered post-game to talk about this one and the other 5 games around the ACC today. And we'll maybe look at the college football playoff picture because it's starting to take shape, and the ACC championship as well. All right, we got a ball game here in Stanford. SMU took a 21-0 lead, but Stanford finally getting on the board here. Elijah Brown to Alec Iomanner, 18-yard touchdown. Great catch, great throw. Stanford does have the ball coming out in the 3rd quarter. Wes Durham, Tom Luganville, and Dana Boyle have you covered. The ACC Huddle, we'll see you afterwards. Enjoy the second half.
Well, we welcome you back. Palo Alto, California, the beautiful chapel here on the campus of Stanford University. ACC Network primetime, our first trip here tonight. SMU 31, Stanford 7 as we get ready to start second half. Great to be with Tom Luganville, Wes Durham, Dana Boyle in just a moment. Let's get to our Is It In You, brought to you by Gatorade, because we talked about big plays at the beginning of the night and how explosive SMU was. Tom, was it too good, too fast for Rhett Lashley's team tonight?
Well, everything was hitting in stride. That starts off the first play of the game. So you're on top of Stanford immediately. Then you get the next explosive. That's Keyshawn Smith. So now what happens? You tend to relax, right? You tend to take a little bit of a breath. You make a couple of plays, the quarterback's moving around, but then in the second quarter, I think what stunned SMU a little bit was how Stanford rose up defensively along the defensive front, created some problems, got them off schedule.
And here is the kick deep, and Bachmeier will watch it hit, so the Cardinals are going to scrimmage from the 25, and we'll get a look at Elijah Brown because Troy Taylor made a quarterback change. Go to the bottom of this column. Troy Taylor said we need explosives. Their defense coordinator, Bobby Abrams, said we got to minimize SMU's explosives. That didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen. And to compound matters for Stanford, you see 92 total yards there. They had 55 yards in penalties in the first half. So not the direction you want to head offensively. It's imperative, as Troy Taylor talked about, the head coach at Stanford, their game is to huddle, drain clock, get first downs, and keep SMU's offense on the sideline. So it's imperative they get a big drive here.
So here is Brown and the Cardinal to work to start the second half, and from the pocket, he'll be sacked. Jafari Harvey right around Elijah Brown, and down he goes on the first snap.
Yeah, Khalil House again, the true freshman left tackle, and Jafari Harvey just taking advantage of him off the top there. He's going to work underneath Elijah Brown steps right into it. You're just not going to be able to hold the football for an extended period of time against this SMU front. And as a true freshman quarterback, at the very least, help yourself by getting the ball out of your hand.
Third sack of the night for the Mustangs. Here's a second down play, and Brown trying to slip it out here in the flat, and that's incomplete. And trying to get it to Davis, the running back from Mississippi. And all of a sudden, it's third down and 15 very quickly for Troy Taylor's club.
Yeah, third down and 15, and a bit of a miss right there. If you could have just dumped it off a little lighter, maybe Chris Davis is able to turn the corner and get them into more of a 3rd and 9 situation as opposed to 3rd and 15. Obviously, Coach Taylor is a bit frustrated. You see the third down conversion rate tonight and on the season, not what it needs to be for winning football.
Came into the game 12th in the ACC, 91st nationally, just 4 of 12 last week at Notre Dame. And here's the throw, and making the move is Ford. He'll get back toward the original line at the 25, and that is where the 3 and out will end for the Cardinal. So Stanford goes 3 and out, Tom, 4th time tonight in their 9th possession.
Well, they've been relying on the defense since about the second SMU series of the second quarter. The defense has gotten the ball back for this Stanford offense. They just haven't been able to capitalize on it.
Flintoff to Daniels on the punt here. And Roderick Daniels took a bump from Bailey. Now see if he can crease the Cardinal. Cannot. There's the ball out again. Sinclair scoops it up, and Stanford's in business. 3rd turnover of the night by the Mustangs. And Tristan Sinclair on the bounce comes up with the fumble.
Another reason why you put your best players on special teams. He's an up back here for the punt. Goes down as Johnny on the spot when that ball comes loose, and Stanford once again afforded a gift from SMU.
Got knocked out of there by Stevenson, the linebacker. And now picked up by Sinclair. So at the 28-yard line, now in plus territory, here's Elijah Brown with a new lease on life after his first 3 snaps.
Can they capitalize?
3rd turnover of the night on the Mustangs, and Brown to work. Shoots it out on the backside, and the catch is made, and that's Davis. And he'll squeeze off maybe 5, almost 6 on the play. Robertson makes the tackle. SMU's had now a group that's been pretty buttoned up on special teams, Tom.
Yeah.
Daniels has had 2 fumbles tonight, and that's their 3rd turnover in the ball game. And now Stanford trying to pick things up, and Io Manor had it slip through the wickets. Incomplete.
I mean, there's the isolation, the one-on-one to your best target. It's a good throw. Got to make that catch. You got a nice first down gain. Elijah Brown finds the outlet. Now you're one-on-one to the sideline. That ball has got to be caught by Io Manor, who routinely makes those catches.
So now 3rd down with almost 2 minutes gone here in this 3rd period. You see that turnover margin. That's been a friendly event for SMU the balance of this year, but not tonight. Now the shot, and overthrown, intended for Mosley. And it was Davis Robinson who had the best shot at it for the Mustangs in the secondary. And Troy Taylor is going to bring out Emmett Kinney for a field goal here.
Yeah, and I think that Elijah Brown thought Mosley was going to take this up to the pylon, and instead he bends it over to the sideline, and that's where the miscommunication is between quarterback and receiver. Stanford just looking to get points. They got to come away with something positive off of these SMU miscues.
Yep. So on the 4th play, they'll try the field goal, 42 yards here for Emmett Kinney. And the kick from Kinney is good. So they turn the 3rd turnover into points. 31-10 early in quarter 3. Don't forget, women's sports take over ACC Network every Sunday, and you get a full plate tomorrow. Noon Eastern, soccer doubleheader, number 25 Cal and Louisville. Then number 12 Notre Dame hosts number 6 Stanford. Then pivot to volleyball in the afternoon. Duke and Virginia Tech, 4 o'clock. It's Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. ACC Network, always available on the ESPN app. Back here at Stanford Stadium, the field goal by Emmett Kinney. Here's the kick, and Brashard Smith will play off the 5. He'll work to the far side, and Smith has run into trouble twice now on kick returns. And the running back, who did not play from scrimmage in the first half for Rhett Lashley, after the tackle there by the freshman Nicholson. And you see we're going to get a look at the Mustangs' leading rusher, 5th best rusher in the ACC, coming in at 93.5 yards a game.
Well, and he's really, by nature, he's a wide receiver. He's a guy that can split out into the slot. You can split him out wide. He's really quick and explosive, so he's a little bit of a different dimension than the other running backs. This offense is a bit different without him.
Mustangs off their 15-yard line, and this is Roderick Daniels, who had the fumble a moment ago, and he gets right at 10 for another first down.
Now, that time they used Brashard Smith coming across in the orbit motion as a decoy, and it works. That Stanford defense, they took a false step to the wide side of the field. Next thing you know, Daniels is going the other way on the cutback.
Yep. So Roderick Daniels on the ground for his 8th carry of the night. And now Brashard Smith gets started. Going to the right side, and he'll pick up at least 5 on the play. Sinclair, who recovered the Daniels fumble a moment ago. Boy, what a fun story Tristan Sinclair is, Tom. A bit of a legacy. His dad had 45 career starts at Stanford as a player. And he's got some Cal in his family, too, so he's one of those guys. Here's a throw to Maryland, and he got sliced down on the play. The ball, is that ruled a fumble by R.J. Maryland? Colin Wright, the junior corner, made the hit. And now there's a bit of a discussion here. Maryland was down on the ground. It's ruled an incomplete pass.
After further discussion, the play was an incomplete pass.
And Troy Taylor, a very interested bystander to referee Hedgepeth's crew. Here's a look and listen.
Official timeout.
Recovered by Tafiti. Tom?
That is a shot.
Yeah, it is.
To the upper thigh of what looks like his right leg. Take a look at the ball now. They're going to maybe take another look at this as to whether or not he caught the ball, secured it,
timeout,
made a football move.
So they tend to Maryland. Early here in quarter 3, still a 3-touchdown lead for the Mustangs. Well, the best news of the night is R.J. Maryland actually kind of trotted off the field under his own power, Tom.
Yeah.
And he might consider himself pretty lucky here. This is a heck of a hit by Colin Wright.
Oh, yeah. You look at his right leg there upon contact, and very fortunate that that hit wasn't lower.
Mm-hmm. So, as we went to break, course, ruling on the field was incomplete. 3rd down and 5 it is for the Mustangs as we come back to live action. And you see we're early into quarter 3 here. A field goal already on the board.
Nobody in the middle of the field
for Stanford. Here's Jennings trying to shake some of the pressure again by the Cardinal. There's a flag on the play, and he's taken down after a gain of 1. It will be 4th and 4, and it looks like a hold. Maybe somewhere in the middle of that SMU offensive line. Let's see what.
After further discussion, there is no foul for offensive holding. It's 4th down.
All right, there we have it.
All right.
So SMU is going to run 4 plays and punt. And while the Mustangs have a 3-touchdown lead, I don't think Rhett Lashley or his team is quite happy with the vibe right now.
Absolutely not. Not when you're turning over the football and making errors in the kicking game.
And the punt from Pearson. Low one with a hop in it. Out of bounds around the 23 at the Stanford end of the field. Here with about 3.5 gone in this 3rd quarter. 46 yards on the punt from the Aussie Isaac Pearson. So here's Elijah Brown now, a little bit further down the field than after the Daniels fumble on the first punt of the 2nd half. And you see they still look at R.J. Maryland, the junior from South Lake Carroll High School. Talk about your high school programs that have had a lot of success. a success over the years. So 22-yard line is where the Cardinal get going. Here's Brown on a toss, and Davis trying to get to the edge on the boundary side, and he got banged out of bounds, and that was Wacobia. Isaiah Wacobia, another guy from the Metroplex, went to Skyline, playing in his 34th career game tonight for SMU. And of course, where's the legendary Jerry Levias, is number 23. If you don't know the story of Jerry Levias, it is one to follow. He broke the color barrier not only at SMU, but broke it in the Southwest Conference as well.
Yep.
And Wacobia wears that 23 for the second time and tried to go to Io Manor, and boy, Brandon Crossley almost had one with a bow put on it, Tom.
He certainly did, and SMU is starting to get a beat on reading the quarterback's drop and squatting on the route. At some point or another, they're going to have to allow 13 to get vertical and take a shot over the top. You see Crossley, he's just watching the quarterback. When the quarterback stops his drop and he cocks to throw, he's planting and coming forward.
Cardinal just 1 for 10 tonight on 3rd down. And this is 3rd down and 7. And here's the throw in the middle of the field. Io Manor, that's a 1st down. Out across the 40 goes Ellick. Toward the 43 before Moses makes the stop for the Mustangs. And now Elijah Brown put it in the hands of the best player.
Put it in the hands of the best player. Now you got a little bit of momentum. They're going to huddle up here, but maybe you do try to take advantage of something vertical, as these corners for SMU are really starting to settle in and squat. Just pay attention to the quarterback. There's a late substitution coming in for Stanford.
Yeah, that's Benji Blackburn, freshman from Miami at tight end. And he's in motion. Fake the toss. Here's Brown under duress. He's going to break away, and he'll run here to the near side and get out of bounds at the 45. Pickup of about 3 on the play. Elijah Roberts was the guy forcing the angle on the rookie Elijah Brown.
Smart, heady play by the freshman quarterback. You're able to evade the pressure, get out to the corner, but don't put the ball in harm's way. Tuck it, get yourself forward, live to play the next down.
So Brown is 7 of 18 throwing the ball, Tom. 71 yards, touchdown, interception. Ashton Daniels was 2 of his first 5 for 20 tonight. And we saw Brown on the 4th series of the ball game. Here's the throw in traffic, and Io Manor's going to hang on for another 1st down. That one at the SMU 47, and he had white shirts all over it.
How did he catch this? You talk about extending away from your frame. Ahmad Walker, 34, the linebacker, all over it for SMU to the right side of your screen right there. He sneaks this one in. Whew. Able to secure the football. Well done by Elijah Brown. Now maybe the youngster's getting a little bit of confidence.
My goodness. Kilgore, Moses, Walker, all around. Io Manor, who still finds a way to pull it in. His 4th catch of the night. And now Brown fakes a shot downfield. Going to turn, and he'll get to the 40 before he's brought down on the 1st down play. And Corey Roberson is the guy that finally makes the tackle. And now all of a sudden we're starting to see Stanford fish around in not just the throw game, Tom, but young Brown starting to make plays with his feet.
Well, he is, and he's, more importantly, he's not being careless with the football. I think that's the whole key for this young man, to grow and mature, understand the moment, where he's at on the field. You're in a position to keep just kind of plugging away and getting points, and again, keeping that SMU offense on the sideline.
CC, the receiver, to the top of the screen. You see Roush in motion. They're going to hand the ball. Coming here to the near side, this is Micah Ford. And I think he will have the 1st down to the 36. So a bit of a deliberate possession here by the Cardinal. They picked up a couple 1st downs on throws to Io Manor. And now find a little path in the run game.
Yeah, you like these 2 freshman run backs in Micah Ford and Chris Davis. They've got some juice. These are some really nice young players for Stanford.
Empty set on 1st and 10. And offline throw that time. And I think ball was back for Ford, the running back. I was going to ask you before the snap a couple plays ago here. Ashton Daniels comes out, wasn't having a great night. Elijah Brown.
Right.
Troy Taylor kind of been, yeah, we'd like to see him again. And sure enough, we've seen a lot of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they were just waiting for him to get completely healthy and kind of get ingrained in college lifestyle, the schedule and everything. And then when there was an opportunity to put him in the ball game and Ashton Daniels was struggling early, perfect timing.
Longest possession of the night for the Cardinal, their 9th play, and Davis hammered in the backfield. SMU had Smith back there first, and then Moses finished him off. 2nd and long coming up.
Well, they timed that up perfectly off the edge. Zamad Moses runs it down from the backside.
Troy Taylor, 2nd season here at Stanford after a marvelous ledger at Sacramento State in the Big Sky. Out of the pocket, Brown going to fire deep for Io Manor, well overthrown, incomplete. McGill in cover for the Mustangs.
Now they're making sure that Brandon Crossley, number 1, the corner. McGill is the safety over the top. But if that ball's not overthrown, you're at least in a competitive matchup for Io Manor to go up and pull the football down. Now you got yourself a 4th and 11.
Stanford is 11 of 21 on 4th down this year. This is 4th and 11. Mosley and Roush at the top with CC, and Io Manor here at the bottom of the formation. Brown in the pocket, hit as he throws. Mosley couldn't hang on. Moses was there for SMU to jar it loose. Brown was taking a face full of Mustang when he cut it loose too, Tom.
Some heat in the kitchen right there. Cameron Robertson, number 15, lodges it loose. Mosley should have come down with this one for a 1st down instead. Fresh set of downs for SMU.
Well, SMU's in full control, and Tom, on the last Mustang possession, we saw the terrific tight end, R.J. Maryland, take a shot from Colin Wright. He was able to get off the field on his own power, but he huddled with his teammates in the tight end room. And then his mom, a moment ago, we think, came down, and now very emotional on the SMU bench is the, boy, what a terrific talent this kid is. And we hope nothing but the best for R.J. Maryland. Mustangs take over now after Stanford gave it away on downs, and here's Jennings trying to get started. Kevin back to his right, now sets, plants that back foot, and going to launch it, and boy, Jordan Hudson had to bang that out of bounds to keep it potentially from being an interception for either Colin Wright or possibly the freshman Brandon Nicholson.
Yeah, Jordan Hudson does a terrific job there of becoming the defender, but Kevin Jennings just freelancing a little too much for me right there. Didn't look like he was playing from within the confines of what the scheme demanded. Going back to R.J. Maryland, you just hate to see that emotion on a young man who's got an injury and probably not come back in tonight.
Flag thrown on the play as Bashard Smith squeezes off 4. Frausto Ramos, the tackle.
Holding. Offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Logan Parr guilty of the hold. Let's check with Dana.
Just more on R.J. Maryland, visibly upset, like you said, walking off on his own will on the field, immediately consoled by his teammates, the first being Keyshawn Smith, and the athletic trainers put ice on his right knee, so if he's unable to return, that's a big loss for SMU.
Yeah, you see the emotion on his face, and it just breaks your heart because you realize how important the game is to him.
Free play here for SMU, I believe. Flag has been thrown, and a long throw, and that's Bailey to catch. Terrific grab by Jake Bailey. It'll put him back inside 10 for a 1st down, but we'll see if, I think they're probably going to take the penalty if in fact it is on Stanford for offside here. And a quick check with Rhett Lashley.
Offside. Defense, number 23. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
That was David Bailey offside on a throw from Jennings to Jake Bailey. David from Irvine, California. Jake from San Clemente. One plays at Stanford, one plays at SMU. I was trying to button all that up for you, Tom.
Well, just packaged up right there in Orange County in Southern California is what you did.
Oh, me. 4 receivers set here after the penalty, 2nd and 15. Cardinal bringing a little bit of a delayed blitz. Jennings another back foot throw, but a catch on the backside. That's Jordan Hudson, the grab. Kind of in the area where Bailey caught the ball a moment ago. Brandon Nicholson there for Stanford. As we go inside 6 minutes now in the third quarter, and despite a flurry of things back and forth, only the Kenny field goal, the only mark we've got in the second half. Feels like a pretty big third down. Roderick Daniels in the backfield. Here comes Stanford with the pressure. Jennings up in the pocket, now weaves his way through. Trying to get to the first down. He got shoved out of bounds. And that was Fausto Ramos handling that across the way.
I'd go for this, Wes.
Jay Sean from LA, and he was able to get over there on 4th and 3. Rhett Lashley.
He's going to punt it.
Obviously not plugged into the broadcast because
he's thinking about it right now too. Look at him.
He's punting.
All right, there's the clock.
At least for the moment, with 5 minutes to go.
He so wants to go for it.
Aha, the ESPN analytics say kick it, Tom.
All right.
And now we got a marker here. As soon as the ball was snapped. I'll say this.
Snap infraction. Offense number 48. 5-yard penalty. It's still 4th down.
That is Will Benton, the long snapper for SMU. Out of Westminster in Atlanta.
Boy, and Rhett Lashley is livid. One of his assistant coaches on the sideline.
So Benton will try the long snap again for Pearson. And he flips it toward Bachmeier. It'll check up and out of bounds inside the 20. So 31-10 it stays with 4:31 to go, and Rhett Lashley's got the headset ready to go on the defensive side. 7 penalties tonight against his club for 75 yards.
Yeah, he can't be happy about it, and he wasn't happy about that one either. He's lucky his headset's in one piece.
So the punt for SMU now gives Stanford the ball. Cardinal off its 20, or their 20, I should say. And here's Elijah Brown, whose worksheet is 8 for 22 passing. 78 yards. And on first down, play fake, and Mosley the catch on the crossing route. That'll be a first down. Flag down on the play across the way at the 25 in front of the SMU bench, and it's ineligible.
Receiver downfield. Offense number 69. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Michaela, the young man starting at center tonight, Tom, because of the injury to Levi Rogers.
Yeah, again, the RPO again, and difficult grab from Emmett Mosley. We've been waiting on him to make a couple of these difficult catches. He does, and then you get a penalty because you're drifting downfield in the offensive line off the RPO.
So now 1st and 15 as we approach 4 minutes. Brown with time now, and going to try and throw back underneath. That's Rouse the catch, and he'll get to the 39, maybe the 40, and a first down for the Cardinal. 25-yard play to the junior tight end from Nashville.
Yeah, look at Elijah Brown navigate the pocket and then change the arm ankle, throws it low, and puts it only where Rouse can get it. What a tremendous individual effort by Rouse.
Brown tried to pump it twice, and now he'll go down. Roberts is there, so is Isaiah Smith for SMU. Mustangs haven't always gotten there tonight, Tom, but they keep coming.
Well, they keep coming, and they're applying pressure. They're affecting the quarterback in a negative way. It's not always all about sacks.
2nd down and 13. And Brown coming here to the near side, and will stretch it out toward the 40. And out of bounds he goes. And it'll be 3rd down and full 10, it looks like. Yep. I'm sure Troy Taylor is going to talk about this change tonight from Ashton Daniels to Elijah Brown after the ball game, but As we were talking earlier in the first half when the change originally occurred, I think the measurements here tonight are interesting. How you would measure Ashton Daniels with his experience to now what you're seeing tonight in just the second collegiate game of Elijah Brown. Here is Brown from the pocket again and almost intercepted. Within a whisker of Kilgore.
Not so much within a whisker, but in his mitts. My man, 54, he's doing an excellent job just surveying the quarterback's eyes, breaks on the football, just can't hold on to the football. That might have been a devastating turnover for Stanford. So at least now they get to flip the field, Wes.
Yeah, Flintoff on to punt. And Daniels will watch that well out of bounds here to the Stanford bench side. And with 2.5 to go, the Mustangs will get the football back. Quick reminder to you, after a full Saturday in Week 8 on ACC Network, where we started the day with Clemson beating Virginia, we're going to carve up 3 more for you next Saturday. High noon start for the Hokies. Boy, now, hey, Brent Pry's team, Tom.
Isn't this right around the time last year when they went on that run?
That's right, yep. Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, high noon. Wake is here in Palo Alto to meet Stanford off a win today at UConn, and we will be at Wallace Wade Stadium in Brooksfield in Durham for these Mustangs and the Blue Devils. And Duke will win over Florida State last night. You see what SMU can do. You see the undefeated ACC teams. And on first down, this is Brashard Smith stepping out of 2 tackles. Midfield for Smith. Almost comes to a stop and steps out of bounds at the Stanford 40-yard line. This is a terrific run for a guy who didn't get to snap at scrimmage in the first half.
Well, he is slick, isn't he? He is so slippery. Tremendous balance in the hole. Just subtly steps out of bounds. Big explosive that was needed by this SMU offense.
Terrific run by Smith, right for 40 yards. You see just a couple of carries. All of his work from scrimmage has come here in the second half. And now Smith back to work one more time. And he'll pick up right at 5. Tom, he's got a little move. I noticed it a couple weeks ago when we had the Florida State game where he gets into the hole and turns halfway like he's going to go the full spin and then resets and goes.
Right. He tried it right there, but they corralled him. And you're right. It's almost as if he's working the spin move to bounce outside, but then he brings it right back up to the middle.
I don't know many guys that got that.
I know it's a nice little tool in the box.
Not many cats on the street walking with that play. Here is Smith again. That's a first down run. And I suspect at 31-10, Rhett Lashley be just fine lining up and running the football the rest of the night. Given that Kevin Jennings
Official timeout for an injury.
Has thrown for a career high tonight, 287. And we've got a player for SMU who is slow to the feet. Here's another look at this dance that Smith has. Looks like we may have a cramp issue. So turn, and at times Sinclair looked like he got around. Oh no, man, he got a little of the cage.
Yeah, a little face mask there.
Here it is. Watch this. There it is. Kind of hides, and then
buys him another 2 yards.
Yep.
It's a lot of black jerseys there.
And again, we talked about this. This guy was a receiver.
Yep.
At Miami. And P.J. Williams is the Mustang who's been able to get off the field under his own power. But Brashard Smith now, we said it a moment ago, he's top 5 in the ACC in yards per game at 93.5. He's second in yards per carry, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
At nearly 7. He's 15th in the country coming in tonight.
He's had a fantastic start to the first half of the season, and because he does so much for the offense, when he's not in the game plan, they're affected negatively.
Here's Jennings, a little quick throw to the near side. And another catch tonight for Keyshawn Smith. That'll be his 4th of the night. And of course, he's got a touchdown catch in the first half, 45 yards. And the Mustangs, second and short, right back on the hop. Jennings tried to keep it on the play fake, and he got taken down. Frosto Ramos, the sack.
Well, if he hands this ball off, Richard Smith is still running.
Yep. Might run down there to the huddle set.
Yeah, watch number 1. He's going to break on the cut. Oh, if he had the ball in his hand, he's off to the races. Instead, I don't know what Kevin Jennings saw front side. It clearly should have given the ball to Richard Smith there.
Smith comes out. Roderick Daniels is in. Now this is 3rd and 8, by the way. First sack of the night for the Cardinal. Pressure coming. Jennings in trouble again. Tried to tuck the ball away and did, but he'll take the 2nd sack of the night. In his many snaps, Omar Staples, sophomore from Oakland.
Of the 3rd quarter.
It was a big deal in the AAU basketball circuit a couple of years ago before coming to Stanford to play football. Makes a stop. And that will be the final play of the 3rd. 31-10 tonight on the farm. The Mustangs in front. 4th quarter coming up tonight on ACC Network Primetime, and it is ACC Unity Week. The ACC's Committee for Racial and Social Justice, in conjunction with the member institutions, have identified October 11th through the 20th as ACC Unity Week. 48-yard try for Colin Rogers, who is hit tonight from 51 at the close of the half, and try to push this lead to a couple dozen for the Mustangs. Snap spot, try away. And Rogers missed it to the right. So a missed field goal by Rogers. And for Colin Rogers, Tom, that's his 5th miss of the year in 19 tries.
Again, the kicking game in more ways than one tonight have plagued SMU, particularly with some turnovers on some muffed punt returns. And then missed points right there. And credit Stanford defensively. They just keep hanging around. Just keep lingering.
So the missed field goal, Cardinal at the 31 now.
That man, Rhett Lashley, right there is not a happy camper with the way that SMU's playing. Yes, the score is 31-10, but they're not playing winning football.
Yep. Here is the first down throw. This is Mosley coming back on the tunnel screen, and he got roughed up pretty good right at the original line. By the way, in the 3rd quarter, SMU had 78 yards. Stanford only had 73. And as I said, the Kenny field goal was the only point scored, and that was off a turnover by Daniels.
Yep.
And you see Brown, the yards per attempt not great, but for a 2nd time in a college game, not bad.
Well, the college game and playing against the team defensively that can create some havoc.
Yep. Here's a play fake. Brown going to loop it down the field, and that is picked. Pulled out of the secondary, Wacobia. And Isaiah Wacobia brings it back to the 35. Flags are thrown in. We got 3 or 4 of them thrown. And now early here in this 4th period of play, we get the 2nd Stanford turnover of the night, and it's an interception for Brown by Isaiah Wacobia. And Tim Hedgepath is going to sort out the flags here. Here's the club takeaway bottle service, Tom. I know you're a fan of. There we go.
After the interception, personal foul, illegal blindside block, intercepting team number 9, 15-yard penalty, first down.
So that's Mike Lockhart, the defensive lineman that was involved in that. Wacobia, by the way, now has his 8th career interception and his 2nd in his mini games, Dana.
Got a great story, Wes. Wacobia wears the number 23 jersey, and it's worn by one deserving SMU student athlete after Jerry Levias. And Isaiah not only got awarded it last year, but also this year, and it's for his perseverance. And when I asked him, what did it mean to get awarded that number 23 for the 2nd year in a row, and he said, I couldn't wait to call my mom. She's my inspiration. She worked multiple jobs when I was growing up to put food on the table, and he's wearing that jersey proud tonight.
Oh, boy. Tell me. Terrific football player. L.J. Johnson's come back in the ball game as a running back now with Kevin Jennings. Here's Jennings with time, and a flag thrown as he got away from the rush. And going to lose 3, maybe 4 on the play.
Holding. Offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Tough night for Logan Parr.
Yeah.
Tough night for both left tackles.
It has
by the
been.
way.
It has been.
Correction. The penalty is declined. It's second down.
I say tackles. Parr is the guard, but we have seen Khalil House, by the way, of Stanford struggle at left tackle, and Logan Parr at left guard tonight. He's been taking Anthony Franklin's been there most of the night over the top.
Going back to what you said during the last drive for SMU, Rhett Lashley can just line up and run it here. They're having success in the run game. You got Rashard Smith in the backfield.
Yep. Here's Jennings on a play fake. And he'll shoot it far side. Bailey the catch. He'll slip down. 49-yard line of the Mustangs. Got back to where the original line was. Here's the thing that, coming back to our conversation, Tom, this is one of the things Rhett Lashley was concerned about was stopping playing football. Yeah, it helped to get everybody healthy.
Yeah.
He was not sure how this group would come back from the bye week.
Sometimes when you're hot, you want to carry that momentum right into the next week. They didn't have the opportunity to do that. Maybe you're seeing a little bit of the rust here, a little sloppiness, but we didn't see it early. That's what's been so interesting about how this game has unfolded for SMU.
Yep. They missed all 3 of their third downs in the third quarter. This is 3rd and 9, and Jennings is going to be sacked. Wow. That looked like Bailey got there again off the edge, and it was David Bailey.
Well, he does, and he comes off the edge, and watch how he dips, and he leans off the edge so quickly and so low right there. Look at him get low, dip the shoulder, and that's just really difficult on Andrew Chamblee, who's 6'6", 303 pounds. You just can't play that low and beat the rush of David Bailey.
So after the interception, Mustangs can't do anything with it. Pearson got it away through a flurry of Cardinal jerseys, and that ball is going to bounce out of bounds right around the 1 or the 2, and it looked like Keyshawn Smith got down there and touched it up at the 1. He did. Terrific punt cover. But Pearson got this punt away with all heck breaking out around him. And then Keyshawn Smith, handy little piece of special teams right here for the Mustangs.
Okay.
The new 12-team college football playoff begins December 20th on ESPN.
That's how I get by.
Here they are at Stanford Stadium tonight. Cardinal faithful here, trying to snap a 3-game skid. Wake Forest is here as part of our ACC Network tripleheader next Saturday. You see a great look Elijah Brown in the gun as they start off their own 1 after a career punt of Isaac Pearson, 58 yards, Tom, that was down by Keyshawn Smith at the 1. They hand the ball to the young freshman Davis, picks up about 3 on first down.
Well, once again, the defense for Stanford comes up, finds a way, right? Gets the stop. And then you punt it away. And, oh, by the way, we're going to take our true freshman quarterback now. We're going to start him off on the 1-yard line with 99 in front of him.
So here is Brown. Now trying to get out of trouble and going to be sacked. And that's a safety. Cale Sanders has been a lot of places tonight impacting the game for the Mustangs.
A punter getting some love. Let's go, Isaac Pearson. You just can't hold on to this football. The moment you come off of that token fake and you got a free rusher, dump it. You got the tight end dragging right in front, throw it right in the dirt. Give yourself a chance. Bottle service open for safeties as well.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go. How about that? Rhett Lashley trying to get his personnel lined up. They had somebody down there, I think on the, remember now, it's a free kick. So you got to get everybody set up and ready to go.
Let's get lined up.
Guys in the club takeaway party.
Well, let's first off make sure we got all 11 out there. That's number 1. And make sure we got the right 11 out there. And they do.
So Smith and Daniels are deep. And this is Emmett Kenny, the place kicker, who handles kickoffs, and certainly he'll handle this here after the safety. And Brashard Smith at the 15. Spinning away at the 30, turns the corner 35. Another spin will take him to the 37. And
there's your move.
That's where SMU is going to get started. 23-yard return. And quite frankly, Brashard, not telling you how to do your job, but if you hadn't have spun, you might have scored.
Yeah, right. Oh, my goodness.
I think the second spin took you out of what might have been a pretty clean path right there.
Yep.
But that's not for me to say.
Listen,
we got a pretty good look at it up top here.
Yeah, absolutely. This SMU team, until you see them in person, you don't realize the skill that they have that is so good in space, and then the quarterback obviously creates so many problems with his arm and with his feet.
Right.
This is a really athletic team.
Jennings trying to make the throw backside to Hudson. That's Jordan Hudson, the 6'1" junior from Garland, Texas, came in with 3 touchdown catches. He and Maryland were the leaders, and RJ had a first half TD catch to take the lead.
He's telling his target, you got to look back earlier. I'm going to back shoulder you on that throw. You're even with the defender. Quite honestly, not sure why they're still throwing.
And here goes Brashard. No, that's Roderick Daniels' first down run. Squeeze the trigger right through to the 50. That'll be a 13-yard run and a Mustang first down.
Line up and get a few more of those, Wes.
Yep. Well, the first half we saw Jennings basically set a new career high in passing, right?
Yeah,
and then Stanford starts kind of pressuring in the throw game more effectively than in the run game.
Yeah.
Tom.
Yep. Absolutely.
There's Bailey in the orbit, and this is Daniels again picking up 4. Here's the interesting part. I'm Manny Diaz. I'm Jonathan Packey. I'm watching the game tonight.
Yeah.
If so, we look forward to seeing you guys next Saturday night.
Right.
The idea, though, is you got a lot to study when it's SMU. And Bobby April, who's the defensive coordinator for Troy Taylor here at Stanford, gave us some really interesting prospects yesterday about what SMU does. And it follows some of the things Luke's talked about a couple weeks ago. And here is Smith on second down. It'll be 3rd and short. One of the things you talked about, and I'm go ahead and let you expand a little bit on this. They don't run a lot of different plays.
No.
They just run them from a lot of different looks.
It's all window dressing. And, pre-snap is almost every bit as important as post-snap. When you're setting the look, the motions, the shifts, the personnel groupings, but it's not a ton of plays. It's zone, split zone, counter, and then you got to deal with the tempo.
Yeah. So here's the snap for Jennings, and on 3rd down, he's got the first down, and he will step out at the 35. And then yesterday's visit with Bobby April, who is the son of a long-time, very successful professional defensive coach, Bobby April Jr. He talked about 18 different personnel groupings, Tom.
Yeah. And then again, going back, now RJ Maryland obviously got injured tonight. He's not in the game any longer this evening, but he causes a real problem from a personnel package because you don't know whether to treat him as a wide receiver or as a true tight end. So you can get caught with the wrong personnel on the field at times.
1st and 10, quick throw on the perimeter. There's a flag down. That's going to be for ineligible, I think, as Smith is pushed out of bounds. And the reason I say that is because it's that kind of play right there that's been pulling that flag.
Illegal motion.
Oh, illegal motion.
Offense,
There you go.
number 1, 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd get him on a legal man downfield because the ball was thrown behind the line of scrimmage.
And quick.
Yeah, and quick to Brashard Smith. But again, penalties.
Yeah, 9 of them tonight, 95 yards.
And just the little details that SMU has become so good.
Officials timeout for administrative stoppage to address the chains.
That SMU has been so good at maintaining consistently week in and week out has fallen off here a little bit. And you may attribute that to the bye week, haven't played, but that certainly isn't how SMU has gotten to this point.
You know where I am on this part of the operation, right? I've told you.
You want lasers?
Yeah.
Lasers.
We can put a chip in the ball, the whole bit.
Okay.
Don't you do that in that league you do in the spring?
The UFL, absolutely.
Here's the gift to Smith on first down. Take a loss there. Ernest Cooper the play for the Cardinals. So I think it's going to be, regardless of the outcome here tonight, I think it's going to be a very important week for what SMU's goals are, Tom, because the crowd they're going to see next Saturday night on our coverage is Game 3 of our triple header in Durham. That's a group that found a way to win last night.
Absolutely.
And did it early by forcing turnovers. Here is Smith sneaking through on a 2nd and long play. It'll be about 3rd and 5. Sinclair the tackle of the elusive Brashard Smith.
He comes up slow a little bit over there on the sideline, but man, he's operating at a different speed. He is really elusive. We've now seen them utilize him in the backfield, in the slot. They threw the bubble screen to him. They got jet sweep action going to him. You got to be aware of where #1 is at all times.
Yep, make you miss guy. And he's just going to walk it off, it looks like, with the sports medicine folks paying attention. 300-yard night for Jennings, and looking for more here. Dances through the pocket, throws across. That's Bailey the catch. First down, SMU outside the Stanford 11. Some kind of play by Jennings.
Some kind of play
Officials
indeed.
timeout for an injury.
Bailey might be catching a cramp here.
Kevin Jennings, his eyes are down right here, and then watch him pull his head up. Last second. I mean, his eyes are looking at the ground. I think he's set to take off and run, and quickly pulls up. And to be able to do that and pull the trigger that quickly, how do you defend it?
Yeah, good question. Jake Bailey. Dana down there doing a little field reporting. It's a cramp.
We got a little bit of a smile from him, just a cramp.
Okay. Way to hop into the medical side of that thing, Boyle.
I've never had a cramp.
Why?
I'm dead serious.
Stop it.
Dead serious. I've never one time had a
Once
cramp.
again, Dana, we find out more things about why Tom's such an amazing human.
I don't see Tom drink a lot of water, so I don't know if I believe that.
Okay, now we're.
You don't need water to avoid cramps.
Oh boy, here we go. Brashard Smith, please. Back in the ball game. 1st and 10 after the catch by Bailey, and here's Smith trying to find the corner at the near side at the 5 and shoved out around the 3. So it'll be. I think it's still going to be 2nd down, maybe a step before the first down stick. Nope, I think they're going to give him the first down.
Look at him.
Nope, 2nd and short.
Bounce to the outside, and just it's a foot race to turn the corner.
And that play got muscled around. Brashard Smith had it. The ball got stolen by Bernadelle. Nope, Tafiti was in there. Bernadelle also in the mix. Stays with the Mustangs. All right, what do we have here? And does Smith hit the ground? Yes. Yep. Elbow on the ground before Tafiti and could pull the rock out of there. Bernadelle was in the pressure. And L.J. Johnson powering through. I think that's enough for the first down.
Well, it's going to be close here. No, they're not going to give it to him.
Is that right? 4th down it is. Tom, what do you think?
Let's see, now the line isn't 100% accurate, right? It's just to give you a gauge of where it looks at.
Oh, he's short, yeah.
He's short. That's a good call by this officiating crew.
All right, low man, tough man here, Lukes.
That's it.
And center judge stepped in there momentarily, and now
substitution.
Stanford, yep, going to be allowed to make a move. 12th play of the drive. Marceau Alinka has come in, and now a timeout taken.
Timeout. SMU.
So the Mustangs will burn one with just under 6 to go and a 33-10 lead.
Saw that late substitution, bringing another 300-pounder in, line him right over that gap between center and the guard, the A gap. So we'll see what Rhett Lashley has up his sleeve on 4th and inches when we return.
Back at Stanford Stadium, Stanford, California.
Oh, there he is.
Yep. on the very site of where they played the first Super Bowl in the Bay Area.
A home game for the 49ers.
Relatively speaking.
Look at Joe.
Yep. January 20th, 1985. Montana was the MVP. Ronald Reagan and Hugh McElhaney, the coin toss.
Oh.
How about that?
Oh, look at that Halloweeny moon.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a great shot.
This facility was completely recreated around the site in the early 2000s. A very comfortable venue for college football. And on 4th and short, that's L.J. Johnson. And this is going to be a spot situation. I think they're going to award him the first down.
Yep, they are. With the second effort from Johnson, he's able to lunge forward.
That'll get us toward the 5-minute mark to go in the game.
The effort rate there.
Wow. Oh, yeah. No kidding. Sinclair.
Well
Boy,
done.
is he fun to watch, man. Bernadelle and Sinclair. Those two guys can play for a lot of people. And Johnson now crashing through. And haven't seen the signal just yet. And now we do. L.J. Johnson's got the touchdown run. And SMU on the board here in the 4th quarter, Tom. Long drive. Covering about 65 yards. But L.J. Johnson caps it on a 2-yard run. And the Mustangs, 13 plays. And with 5:03 to go, they are headed to their 6th win in 7 ball games.
We were in our last break, and SMU head coach Rhett Lashley had his team over on the sideline, and there was an intensity in his eyes, and he was addressing the offensive line directly. He's going to give them, you got to get the first down, get us in the end zone, let's get on a plane and go home.
6 minutes, 37 seconds on the drive. You see the Rogers point after. So SMU in their 5 wins has averaged 463 yards of offense. Tonight they just went over 500. And the lead has ballooned to 30. And here's a look at the final 5 games remaining in the regular season and the win probability rate for each. And I wouldn't believe much of that, if any of that, Tom, because every one of those 5 teams right there presents a unique challenge to Rhett Lashley's team.
Absolutely.
Let alone the challenges they themselves are going to face here.
No question. And with each and every week, pressure starts to mount. The standard and the expectation level goes up. And again, when you're a group of 5 roster that's come up into the Power 4 ranks, the one area that can get exposed, you can get worn down. If you have an injury, it may hit you big, is in the offensive and defensive line. And they've been able to stay healthy in their efforts in the offseason when they went out in the transfer portal and they identified guys that could not only create starting opportunities for SMU up front on both sides, but great reserve depth.
And here is Colin Rogers to kick it away. And that ball will not be returned through the back of the end zone. So we get to close down week 8 here tonight with you in the Bay Area, if you will. And SMU is going to join the list of teams that won. Miami a winner early today, starting action in Louisville. Boy, Clemson got another 300-yard game from Kate Klubnik and overcame 10 penalties, Tom. Wake Forest picked up a win on the road. Dave Clawson's team won 2 of their last 3. Notre Dame beat Georgia Tech without Kyle Effort and Haynes King.
Kyle Effort.
Yep.
See, you can't even say it correctly now.
And now
I renamed him.
NC State, by the way.
How about that?
Handed Cal their 4th loss in the ACC. And on first down off the 25, not much, maybe a yard on the play from Micah Ford. That Cal-NC State game featured the Golden Bears missing a 28-yard field goal that would have given them the lead. Now remember, last Saturday they missed a 40-yard field goal that would have given them the lead at Pitt. They have lost 4 ACC games by a combined 9 points.
And 3 of them were by a field goal that would have won it that was missed.
Right. And if Mendoza steps out of Patrick Payton's tackle in Tallahassee, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he scores. That's exactly right.
There's a throw. Brown, that's Rouse, the tight end, I think, holding on through the catch. And indeed, another catch tonight for Sam Rouse. Celestine, the tackle transfer from San Diego State, playing back in his home state for SMU tonight.
By the way, credit C.J. Bailey, quarterback at NC State. They're down 23-10. They're on the road. They have not had the start that they thought they'd be having in Raleigh, and he's playing pretty well as a true freshman.
Gutty win for Dave Doran's team, who fell behind early on a Thomas touchdown run. And you see back to work. There's Mosley on the catch for Stanford. Clock continuing to wind inside of 4 minutes to go. And very well could be a changing of the guard here at Stanford by next Saturday when Wake visits, with Elijah Brown maybe getting his first start based on tonight.
I don't think there's any question about that. I think when you look at what Stanford's trying to do with the core nucleus of the players that not only did they inherit 2 years ago, but the players they've brought in, particularly in the 2024 recruiting class, they've got some really talented freshmen, and they've chosen to play a lot of them. And with that's going to come some heartache and some potholes in the road. But now I think you ride them.
Some of the reserves in for SMU defensively. Muhammad made the stop on another throw to Rouse. Here's Brown. He'll just slip down. And I think he will be measured for a loss on the play. So it'll be 2nd down and 11. And we're going to be inside of 3 minutes on the next snap. And a 30-point lead for SMU, who's going to go to 6-1 and 3-0 in the ACC. Stanford's going to lose for a 4th straight game. Here's Brown, another quick throw on the 2nd and 11 ball. And that's Tiger Bachmeier. Just his 4th catch of the year. He had 36 catches a season ago.
Right. Primarily just been a return specialist this year so far.
And on 3rd and short, I don't believe that was converted on the give to Ford. So it'll be 4th and about a yard. And coming up quickly on the 2-minute timeout, Mike Lockhart made the tackle for SMU.
Ford, another one of those true freshmen that they really like, along with Chris Davis in the backfield out of that 2024 recruiting class.
And that'll be the 2-minute timeout. Yep. Thinking right there along on the same lines.
Yes, you are,
Mr. Referee. 40-10 the score. SMU trying to extend one of the best road streaks in the ACC and nationally. Trying to win for the 8th straight time on the road. Back to seal it up next.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to be on the campus in Durham next Friday afternoon, 4 o'clock. Come on by and see us. We have a barrel of laughs out there on Friday, don't we?
Absolutely we do.
ACC PM, the birthday boy, Mark Packer. Happy birthday, Pack.
Happy birthday, Pack. I'll see you on Monday.
Put another cube in the glass, my man. Show starts at 4 Eastern. We'll be there on the Camp I in Durham. Look forward to seeing you.
And actually, Dana will be joining myself and Pack on Wednesday.
How about that? There's a throw out of the backfield. Catch is made. That's Bachmeier from Lake Elsinore, California, picking up the first down with under 2 minutes to go. Happy birthday, Pack. You got a full day of football today now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But he's had a good meal, the whole 9.
Birthday meal.
Yeah, oh, heck yeah. Elijah Brown from the pocket, and he'll be sacked. Pressure came right through the middle. Maizona, the sophomore linebacker, picks up his first sack of the year.
He wraps around, creates an open gap there as the back commits to the line of scrimmage. That's 6 sacks now for SMU on the night.
There's a throw, and Mosley the catch. That'll get it back to the 30-yard line with 70 seconds left. By the way, we had that quick shot of Brandon Maizona. Tom, he looked like your category linebacker.
Yeah.
Here's 3rd down now in the final minute of play. And Brown trying to sneak through the pocket. He will slip down, no gain. And I think Billy Walton was involved in the cover. Out of Grand Prairie, Texas. And so there's a timeout. You see the games to come Thursday night, Friday night, both impactful games toward the top of the ledger in the ACC.
All right.
Don't forget, coming up right after the ball game, ACC Huddle live here from the farm tonight in Stanford, California. Taylor Tannenbaum, E.J. Manuel, Eric McLean, Mark Richt, Eddie Royal, Interviews, highlights, and more coming up.
What's that right there, EJ?
What's what?
I mean,
style is what that is.
I don't know.
My man's got style.
Is that what it is?
Absolutely. And what do we got now?
Timeout. SMU.
Holy smokes.
Their second of the half. 30 seconds.
49 seconds to go. Okay. McLean's team won tonight. They beat Virginia, so EMAC will be good. Eddie's team won last night. So they'll have all that tomorrow. Or tonight, rather. We came to the air tonight, or today, 13-13 in conference play were home teams, Tom.
Yes.
When we started the game tonight, it was on the heels of the Cal loss to NC State, right?
Correct.
And this home win thing in the ACC, it was 15-14.
Yep.
After that game. This is going to make it 15-15. 500. And I know you and Pac talked about this the other day on ACC PM. That's how
Offside.
deep and competitive this whole thing is, I
Defense
think.
number 18, unabated to the backfield. 5-yard penalty. It's still 4th down.
It is, and what it also shows you is environment doesn't seem to be impacting from an advantage standpoint the way you'd think it would.
Right. So it's one of those notes now. It's gonna, and we got some big ones coming. Oh boy, Rhett Lashley's not gonna like that number at all. So now into the ball game comes Justin Lamson for the 4th and short play. Lamson, who had the touchdown last week at Notre Dame for the Cardinal.
I don't think he got it.
And I don't think he did either after SMU called a timeout to set their charges defensively. And here comes the offense on the field. So Tim Hedgepath, first down SMU. Look at that. Brown came out there with the offense. And then they awarded the ball to SMU. So Troy Taylor's team with 44 seconds left and 2 timeouts. We'll see SMU take over on downs here. And the Mustangs to 6-1, 3-0 in the ACC. Stanford will lose for a 4th straight time. They're going to be 2-5 overall and 1-3 with Wake Forest here next Saturday. And Preston Stone has come into the ball game, the redshirt junior from Dallas, to take a knee and get the clock moving here. And Tom, Rhett Lashley's team avoided a little bit of the rust after a blurry start, just getting 3 touchdowns, bang, bang, bang to start the ball game.
Yeah, and really fortunate to do so because it wasn't the type of night that they've become accustomed to playing in terms of consistent production and error-free football. And really in all 3 phases, just Stanford tonight could not effectively move the football.
So the game is, clock will drift off. SMU's going to be a winner. Wire to wire tonight go the Mustangs to get to 6-1. Number 21 team in the country, and based on the rest of the landscape today in college football, might be going a couple slots up. 8 wins in a row now for Rhett Lashley's team. 2nd longest streak in FBS. They've scored at least 26 points in all 8 games. And Tom, they add to that, tonight's their 12th straight conference win, dating all the way back to November of 22.
Well, not to mention they've been really, really good on the road. Really good. And when you are good on the road and then you can get yourself in 1 possession contest, which obviously we didn't see here tonight, but we have with SMU so far this season, you win on the road, you win 1 possession games, you got a chance to do something special.
LJ Johnson, a touchdown here for SMU tonight. Big win for the Mustangs, and Kevin Jennings with Dana.
Kevin, you and your team, they remain undefeated in the ACC, and you had a career-high night in passing yards. How would you describe your team's performance coming off a bye week?
You know, coming off a bye week, you know, that's probably like a big deal coming in. So we tried to focus on starting strong. That's what we did. We started really strong and maintained on the whole game, so that's what we did.
How's it having Brashard Smith back in the second half?
You know, it's a lot easier. Just handing him the ball and letting him make the plays, it's a lot easier, for sure.
I know De'Aaron King has been impactful in your journey. How has he been so great in this game, you know, dealing with some adversity that Stanford's defense provided?
You know, just having a player mentality, because, you know, he played not too long ago, so it's easier for him to direct to me. You know, I'm saying this, so it's way easier, and he just helping me out a lot.
Congratulations on the win. We'll see you next week at Duke.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Dana, thanks. Congratulations to Kevin Jennings. Career high passing tonight for Jennings. 322 yards, 17 to 27, 3 touchdowns, was sacked 3 times, did throw an interception. Rashard Smith, second half, 8 carries, 67 yards. Tell you what, SMU turned it on early, and it was good enough to win tonight.
Oh, it was good enough to win tonight. They had the opponent outmanned tonight. Brett Lashley knows there's a lot to coach off of this tape. There's going to be a lot of dissecting this film. And really, to be honest with you, it's really good for this football team to go on the road next week, but have a week full of things that they've got to correct.
Boy, excited to see the Blue Devils and Mustangs next Saturday night at Wallace Way. Great to be with our producer, Ben Ward, our director, Bob Frattaroli, and our terrific Saturday night ACC primetime crew. Wes Durham for Tom Luganbill and Dana Boyle. Sit tight now. Taylor Tannenbaum and ACC Huddle comes your way right now.